All right, folks, this is Chasing the Truth. Shawn G on tap for the Chasing the Truth Shawn G YouTube channel and the Dark Waters radio channel over on the Paranormal radio app. Hey, folks, Merry Christmas. This is, let's see, December 15th. Said a prayer right before I got online here. And all the Midwest United States is under either a tornado watch or a tornado warning, so be careful out there. How you guys doing today? Let me turn off this audio over here. Get this thing situated. Hope you like the new look of the show. I've been working on the OBS stuff going on there. And let's go over here. Hey, Lisa Ray, Impromptu Truth. What's going on? Lakea Show, what's up? The Wiggler, Andy Warhol's wig is in the house over there. Who else is over there? Holly, Red Raider, the Nosy Bigfoot, and a host of others. Please like, share, and subscribe over there. Definitely Santa's Dim Lady. What's going on? Let me get a sip of this coffee. I just made this coffee before I got on air. Ew. That is weak coffee. How the hell did that happen? That was like my dad's coffee. My dad used to, he'd make a pot of coffee, and it was weak to start off with, and then he'd take the coffee and then pour water in it. I'm like, holy cow. What is going on there? Mark Dodman, what's going on? Shawn, what's up, Shawn? That's odd to say my own name, but there you go. Hey, tonight is open lines. 931-994-6917 is the number to call. Let me make sure I got all this stuff situated where I can get it. Yep. And holy cow, this week has been something. I was on the Vol Nightmare show last night. Dark Woods, what's up? Robert Moore is over there in the house over there. If you like, wait a minute, let me see if you can see. Yeah, you can see this. Chasing the Truth has a Teespring store, and I just got my Chasing the Truth t-shirt in yesterday, or day before yesterday, day before yesterday or yesterday, I can't remember, but anyway. If you'd like to have this t-shirt and a host of other designs over there, let me get the Teespring store over here. No, you don't need that one. Let's see. I think this one is it. I'll drop it in the... Oh, actually, no, I better not do that one yet. Not till... If you've... We've announced the winners for the Cryptid Christmas, actually. That's another thing that come to mind. But, hold a second. My Teespring store number is somewhere. There we go. There we are. And if you'd like to tip the show host, which is me, I've got a Cash App and where is it? There's the tip thing. Cash App and PayPal. So if you'd like to do that and drop that out through there. But holy cow. Gary Moody, good to see you too. Merry Christmas. Zwick Noir. Ooh, that's interesting. Zwicki. Change your name. Aha. Glad you made it too. But had some interesting stuff happened in the last 3 days, which I don't need to go into it too much, but there's a whole lot of drama going on. I don't like it. I'm not a drama person, but there you go. But tonight we're talking about anything that's on your mind. Unscreened open lines, 931-994-6917. And let's go over here, get a chat, and jump me up here. And, almost forgot about this screen. There you go. There's chat. I've redesigned the look-sees of how this show looks like. Hope you enjoy it. And we'll look on Dogman cams for a few minutes at the top of the next hour. Let me get another a couple sips of coffee here. Okay, it made fun of me because I drank 2 cups of coffee before she thought I should have, but I drink coffee like it's water. So there you go. Wes. Where is Wes? TC, what's going on? There you are. Hadn't seen you in a hot minute. And J. Jones. Merry Christmas, TC. Haven't had a chance to tell you that. Casual Conversations with GNA. Definitely go over to those ladies' channels. They've covered much of the same topic matter that I do. Go over there and check them out on their YouTube channel, Casual Conversations with the GNA. Thaddeus, there he is. I thought I seen him. Fantastic. Anyway, definitely check that those ladies out. And Thaddeus Cray. Cryptid Christmas, like I said, was earlier. The announcement was yesterday, I believe. Look over on the Dark Waters channel for the Cryptid Christmas winners. There's a short video over there with the announcement of the cup winners and the 1 month free subscription to Dogman cams. I think there were seven of those subscriptions handed out for each of the 7 or 8 shows on the Dark Waters family of shows, and then 2 cups per show. So congratulations, and I've actually got a link for the cups that are being given away, so if you want some of that. Sock Goblin. Well, that's an interesting name. What's up? Shawnster. Interesting that you know my screen name over on a couple other platforms, but there you go. Admirathoria. Excuse me. I keep pronouncing that wrong. But heads up for the folks out in the Midwest. You're currently, if you're, I think, in Minnesota somewhere, you're probably hearing a lot of tornado sirens. So please be careful out there. But, yeah, have you had any problems with hauntings? Which, hold on just a second. Let me see if I can find that one. I was on of All Nightmares last night doing his late show in the middle of the night. And let me see if I can find that screenshot. We were going over something that I had seen. Oh, no, that's not it. Let's see. From my upstairs cam that I've got up there. Which, no, well, there's my old late brother and my dad. Oh, there's a, actually, no, I better not do that one. Let me see if I can find it. Nope. Maybe this, no, that's not it either. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Is this it? Yeah, that is it. Let me see if I can drop this onto the thing. I was actually showing this off last night and saying, hey, what do you see here? Caught this on a screen grab from my upstairs cam. Should I do this on another one? Or what? Well, anyway. Do I have what? Do I have it? No, I don't. Let me put in something real quick so I can point this out. But if you look in the background here in just a second, I'll point out a couple things with this. Show you that this place might be haunted, which I think it is, and definitely. Let me see if I can find it. Walt found something on this photograph that or the screen grab that I didn't see before. And it kind of correlates with what oh, here it is, pointer. There we go. Let me resize this rascal. Copy. And transform. Hit screen, share to screen. All right, there you go. Yeah, I know you want my password, but I ain't giving you one right now. But anyway, back here, there's something standing about right there to the right of this arrow. I don't know if you guys can see it. If you're over on the Paranormal Radio app and the Dark Waters Radio channel, run over to Chasing Truth Shawn G. You can see what I'm showing off tonight on the screen grab. And then the Dogman Cams free preview will be at the top of the next hour, just to let you guys know, look forward to something. But let you know what's going on with that. Let me see what I'm doing here. I was going to do something. Oh, yeah, chat. Let me pull Chad up there. I think Shawn is clairvoyant. I don't know if I'm clairvoyant or not, but right there's one. And then if you look over here, there's something right there. Now, if you heard me tell about the lady, the 1800s dressed lady at the top of the stairs, right here is where she was standing, right in this general area, right in here. When I was coming home late one night, about 2, maybe 3 a.m. in the morning after a clinical time, and this thing was staring down at me, and I got a good long look at this thing. And she was standing about right here, and I'd say she's about this tall over top of the hand banister, right there, this knoll. But if you look right here, which I'm going to be able to actually, let me see. Yeah, I can do this. Well, let me get this thing up to where you can see it. If you can see this thing right here, this pointer, I did not see this until Vault called in. Oh, wait a minute. Here comes, I think we got Vault of Nightmares on here. Hold on just a second, Vault, and we'll get you on air here. Mm-hmm. Okay, Vault, we got you.
What is going on, man?
It's going on, brother. What's going on with you?
Oh, no, I was sitting here watching the show and stuff. Dude, that thing, every time, like I said, that thing is grabbing that rail.
Yeah, I honestly, until last night, I told you earlier, until last night, I did not see that. And that looks like the sleeved arm of what I saw standing at the top of the stairs a few decades ago.
Well, if you notice, like I said, the shadow from the post is one color, and then that shadow is darker than the shadow from the post. Yep. And then when it comes out into the light, see, that shadow shouldn't even be there because light should be taking that shadow away, just grabbing the rail. I was just looking at it. That shadow shouldn't even be there.
Let's see if I can get a little bit closer look-see here. Let me get to... It takes me a minute to get on this OBS studio to really get it zoomed in, but we'll get in here. Okay, right there. You can actually see, the thumb and the trigger finger and knuckles on the, possibly knuckles on the hand. So I don't know what the hell that is.
I just realized that if that was a shadow, the shadow wouldn't be, all right, because think about it, if it's coming from that post or whatever, then where's the rest of the shadow that's covering up that post back there? There's nothing that should be shadowing because the light is bouncing straight off of that.
Well, okay, here's this. Okay, let me grab this pointer here. Okay, all this light is coming from the IR ring on the security camera. So this light right here, see this right here? Something's hanging over this banister right here. You see that? I don't know what that is, but that should be lit up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. See, where's the rest of the shadow?
Oh no, there should be the IR should be definitely lighting this the inner side of that banister.
Exactly. It should. The rest of the banister's lit up. Why is that the only part that's not? Because you can see the shadow extending out. All that back there should be where that arm's coming out, or what it looks like an arm, should be lit up, because the nothing else is shadowed there.
Yeah, that's just crazy. But this, somebody asked me how old this house is. It's well over 100 years old. I'm going to estimate between 100 and 125, because I saw one old. Let me turn down this. I think I'm peeking out here with the audio there. This old house is so old. There's an old photograph of the town that I'm in right now from a hill behind me, and you can see the old wagon roads, but now they're paved right in front of it and across from it. And this used to be right next door. This used to be the proprietor's house that he built next to his feed store. Yeah. And my late dad, he actually did some metal detecting out in the backyard, and he found the remnants of a couple hitching posts out there. You know, the D-rings and stuff that they've got for hitching posts. Found a bunch of those out there.
Huh. Yeah, that house has been there for a while. Because if you find D rings and especially where the hitch, yeah, that house is old.
Yeah. I wish I could find the actual picture of that and put it up. But this is an old 2-story. Everything in this house is cherry. It's cherry wood all over the place. This banner's just cherry. The knoll post right here is cherry. Over here, all the.
I wonder if you can go to the library or get online with the library, go through their records to see how far you can trace this house back.
Well, I knew the son of the proprietor, and back in the day when she was still alive, the son's, I guess the owner's wife was still living. She was 100 and something. And when I saw her, and I was probably mid-teens when I saw her, she would walk out of an old, now boarded up exit from my utility room where I've got my laundry machines and all that stuff in there. But that's now boarded up. I remember her coming out in a big old house coat, big old sun bonnet, and all that kind of stuff from way back when. And that was curious because she'd come out only to look at the corn and whatever garden that the old owner used to have here. But she was 100 and some at that point. And this old place has had its haints for sure.
Well, so we know it's over 100 years old. Because you said you were a teenager then. She was around 100 years old. So I'm figuring we know it's at least 100 years plus old.
Yep.
There's no telling. See, that could be something from when the house was ever put there. We don't know. Like I said, I'd love to see some research on that property right there. What was that? Go ahead.
Well, there's only been 2 families that own this place. My family, my grandparents bought this place, or actually what they did, they lived right next, right up butt against the property line of this old place. And they swapped properties. My family moved into this, and the old owner moved into the trailer that was on that old property. And now that trailer's not there anymore, but this house still remains. And the old feed store, which was converted into, it was a grocery store, then converted into apartments on the top floor, which I think was 3 stories maybe. And there was apartments on that, and the rest of it was storage for the local grocery company. Nickel, I'm not going to try to communicate with spirits whatsoever. I don't want to have anything to do with them. I hate waking up in the middle of the night and seeing stuff standing next to me. So, nope, I ain't looking for that crap. This particular house, I have seen so many things in here, and I can't. There is one particular event that I cannot go over because I said I wasn't going to mention it again, but I have played some audio way back when, so you'll have to go digging of what occurred in this place. And I've seen shadow people in this place. I've seen, other people that have been in this place have seen shadow people. I've heard disembodied voices. Actually, my late brother, my sister moved in here after my late brother passed away. She took care of him last few months that he was still living. And she moved in here to, kind of do the transition thing. She just gave up her entire life and said, I'm going to take care of Bubby. I said, all right. And she, after he was passed away, she moved into here, and about maybe like 3 weeks after he passed, she texted me in the middle of, late at night, about probably this time, maybe 10 o'clock, something like that, and said, I just heard Travis yell at me, yelled my name. And I was like, what? I got up and knocked on her bedroom door, and I said, do you just hear Travis? I said, yep. 3 months after that, or 4 months, give or take, I heard Travis yell at me from outside.
Huh.
And what no Bigfoot is, this was my brother. That was, there's Bigfoot around here, but nothing I've seen around here, just deer pop in and out. But, yeah, this whole place is, I don't know, crazy to say the least. But I honestly,
I wonder if there's any limestone or anything like that. Maybe it's or there could be a ley line somewhere right there on that property, or even houses over that.
Well, the Mammoth Cave system, the fingers of it stretch way up underneath my town and beyond. My brother used to be a spelunker, and he's over in Lee County. He said he rappelled down like 100 feet straight down to get to a point where he had to belly crawl to get into this open cavern where there was an underground lake. So there's all there's all kinds of streams and underground lakes and stuff around here.
See, there could be. I'm sitting here looking at this picture, and on the right side of this banister, there's some kind of shadow, something or other that just don't look right to me. It looks like there's some kind of figure or something there, because you can see light bouncing off that wall. I guess that's what it's, a wall or a door.
Well, this is something. Let's see. Let me point this out. This right here. As soon as I think it's about 20 seconds behind the video pops up. This is the one of 4 bedrooms up there, and this is the corner of the actual door. And right here is
go over just a little bit more to the right.
Right there, that's a reflection right there. If that bright light right there.
No, go on over to the right some more. You see that light bulb or whatever it is right below that. Come down.
Right here.
Yeah, there's a door or something. What I'm looking at is below that. It's below that light bulb or whatever that is on the wall right there.
Okay.
Come over to the right just a little bit more. See, why is the light bouncing off that door back there? But there's also a shadow or something in that light. There's
honestly, that upstairs, I told you this story off air earlier today, I think, or yesterday. I didn't find this out until probably a little earlier this year.
Back up just a little bit to the left.
Back up just a little bit to the left, okay.
Yeah.
Should be catching up in just a little bit. I'm waiting for it to move on the. I'm looking at a live feed. It ain't moved yet. But
it's right in the middle of that, just right above that triangle, right in the middle of the top part of the triangle. Like, so you see that shadow or whatever it is. The shadow don't look right. It looks like part of the shadow goes over on to the wall, and then the lights. That bright spot should be all the way across that door, but it's not. It's broke up. There's a light spot, then a dark spot, then a light spot, and then it looks like another part of the shadow. The shadow just don't look right to me.
All right. Well, you found that. Now I'm convinced that that's a hand. That's not a shadow. Whatever that is, it's a hand. Yeah, that I didn't even notice that. I was looking at crap behind the banister behind that, but yeah, I can see something right about there. I don't know what the hell that is, but yeah, this old place has got all kinds of crazy stuff upstairs. Like I said, there was an old story. I thought there was only one son and one daughter of the old proprietor that built this house. And I found out there was another daughter that was sequestered upstairs, and she did all the bookkeeping, and apparently the dad didn't let her out of the house much. So I've had some encounters with, like I said, something up there a few times. But holy cow, well, there's something up there.
I'm telling you, that shadow don't make sense. That shadow does not make sense reaching out and grabbing that banister. Because there shouldn't be any, the light should be enveloping any shadow. Right. Any shadow the light should be enveloping.
I honestly don't know.
Everything else on that post is lit up. I'm not no shadow expert or nothing else, or a light expert, but if the top of that banister back there is lit up, the bottom of the banister is lit up. Everywhere's lit up, but that one little section that looks like there's too much there that don't look right.
Mm-hmm.
And then right above where you got that air at, that looks like a face is trying to manifest or something.
Yeah, there was. That's one of the things I've actually showed this on the show before. But I, did some edits and stuff to the picture to make it pop out. Put another filter or whatever to make the colors pop. But there's definitely something there, and there's something right over here, which you'll see the arrows. Yeah, there's the arrow pop up. But there's something standing there, and it looks alien to me. The one on the very left-hand corner, that kind of, you can see it. It's actually blocking out, if you look through the actual, through the banister itself, the little tines there. What do you call those little things? There's something blocking out the black chair. There's a chair behind that in the corner there with a light above it for reading. But there's something blocking out that chair. It's completely blocking the chair out. If you can see right here like there's the chair, and that chair goes way over here. It's all over that place. But
your stuff in your houses is about as big as mystery as what I got in my backyard. Because what I'm looking at on here, and like I said, I'm no expert of any kind, but what I'm seeing don't make sense. And I do not believe it to be a light pareidolia, because it just don't make sense. That the shadow, and then like I said, whatever that is just right over there. Yeah, it don't make sense. Why? How can it block it out one spot, not block it out another? And like I said, then light gets rid of shadow.
True enough.
That, and then the thing that's reaching out to the banister is a different color than all the other shadows. See, that's the other thing that makes sense.
Well, honestly, I did not see this until you pointed out last night on your show. I was like, what the hell is he talking about? It's like, holy cow, it's there. I don't know what the hell that is, but it's something there.
Well, I was looking at the shadows. I was thinking, okay, what could cast that back there to make that face look? And then I went back to the banister. I was like, okay, and I can see the shape of the first banister in the foreground, in the front of it, and I can see the shadow that it's making back there on the back wall. Okay, then I got to come down. I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell is making that arm? Why does it look like a hand? Why is it wrapping around? Shadows don't wrap around stuff like that. The other thing is, okay, why is there a shadow there of anything? There shouldn't be a shadow there. But it looks like a thumb and the top of a hand grabbing that banister. Now, if it is not, I can't. That's trickier in my eyes, but that's what it looks like to me. And then it's a different color than the rest of the shadows. So I could be totally 100% wrong, but I just don't think so.
Well, let's see. Santa's lady asked, do you think that's a shadow person, Shawn? I've seen some shadow people in here, and I've told the story a few times in here that I woke up in this bedroom I'm doing this live feed from in front of the screen, that I woke up and got up on my elbows and looked over in the corner and saw this little 4-foot nothing dark shadow, and I said, I'm going to figure out if I can stick a broomstick up his ass. And it ran out of the bedroom. I didn't hear it, but I saw it move, and it responded to me threatening it.
That's what we're trying to figure out. We don't know what that is. It just don't make sense. It's something. I believe 100% it is something, because it don't match nothing else in the picture. It's not following. It's not following the light pattern and shadow pattern, is what I'm saying, by everything else in the picture. I'm no expert on those, but all I can say is, why is everything else following the pattern and it is not? Because I don't see nothing else. I don't see nothing that could be making that.
Well, I'm still perplexed by it. I don't know what's making that. It looks like a arm with a hand at the end of it holding on to the banister is all I can tell you. Now, other people that deal with this more than you and I have could probably come up with a ton of other things, but a lot of the stuff you just like, what do you think it is? I know there's a lot of shit going on in this place.
But, I can tell you right now, what I'm seeing don't match the rest of the picture. So what's causing that? And I can't see nothing in the picture that would cause that, because technically that shadow shouldn't be there because of the way the light's shining on it. So what the hell? So that one shadow is going to defy logic and science, and it stays there when nothing else stays there. That means it has to be a physical form.
Right.
And to be honest with you, I think the arm is casting a shadow behind the arm. Can you zoom in on that? Right there where that arm is again? I'm looking behind it.
Let me see if I can get a hold of it. I got a hold of a freaking pointer. Give me just a second to get the right thing here. I'll get that.
I think it's, if I'm looking at this right, I believe it's casting the shadow on the wall behind it. That ain't possible. Shadows don't cast shadows.
Well, I don't know if it's casting, but you can definitely see something there. I don't like I said, I see it. I don't know what it is other than it looks like an arm, and there's a lot of history up there, and I've had personal experience with ghosts up there. So I don't know what it is. It's just one of those crazy things, and I have, maybe it is time. I don't know. I'll have to pray about it a little bit. But, I still got a camera sitting at the top of the thing, but I'm going to have to do some praying about it to see if I want to actually share out live feeds from in this house while I'm doing this. This whole show.
I don't, what we talked about earlier. I say you do that regardless, because that's going, if it's not malevolent or has no bad intention, like I said, there's no harm, no foul. If it is, oh well, you solved the problem. But I got this on my big TV that's sitting here, and I'm up close on it looking. Now it could be pareidolia, it could be pixelation, it could be whatever. But what I'm looking at, you can see a darker spot in the center of that arm looking. I'm just gonna call it an arm with a grasping the post. That's all I can. I'm not saying that's what it is. That's what it looks like. Mm-hmm. But if you look right behind it, there's a shadow on the wall.
Right there.
So how then? Shadows don't cause something physical has to cause a shadow. I know that damn much, and it don't take no scientific diploma to tell you that. But that thing is casting a shadow on behind itself. And see, it's darker than the shadow of the post. That don't work like that. Every shadow in there should be the same color.
True. Honestly, I don't know what possibly could, right if I could, look at it. Let's see. No, I would pop up a live feed from up there, but I'm gonna wait and think and pray about that thing for a while. I don't want to cause any more problems than what I've experienced so far, but I can honestly tell you, last few weeks, had some really highs, and in the last few days, it's been really low with the activity. So I'm gonna, kind of, not.
Also, we're sitting here concentrating really hard, trying to figure it out. That's feeding into it if it is a negative in it, and negative. So. And we got to remember that too, because right now there's 67 people in here, not counting me and you, and we're all concentrating, trying to figure out what this is. So that's intent. That's giving it. That's feeding it.
Yep, true enough. Yeah, I didn't know Art Bell do a mass intent experiment where he concentrated on some sort of hurricane down in the Gulf, and it got out of hand. Some shit like that.
I think a long time ago he did. Was that Hugo or I can't remember. For some reason I think it's Hugo or something. I'm pretty sure you can go look it up, man, and it'll tell you all about it. But man, I'm gonna get off here that way in case somebody else wants to call in. I'm not taking up the airline. I thank you for letting me on, man. Like I said, that's odd. That's an oddity. I can't figure that one out. I wish somebody that knew more about shadows and light and stuff like that would come in here, because that don't make any sense.
That's
Because
true.
now the more I look at it, it's not even, Shawn, did you realize it's not straight lines? It's almost got a curve to it.
Yeah, it's not a natural. If it was that banister is a hewn banister. It's not curved or anything.
Yeah. So, I don't know, dude. And I said, you got as many oddities in your house as I got behind my house.
Well, I can tell you, this whole thing is just weird.
I think, like I said, me and DW and Lakay have been thinking, I think these cameras and stuff, and people get to concentrating on them, even though they're not trying to, I think these things can summon things, but with just the power and intent of just all this focus in one area. Because even think about it, if you got, let's say you're on a ley line or one close by you, all these people that are coming to watch you every Thursday night and every Saturday night, they're intently listening to you. So that's putting all that extra energy right there in the area. I can't prove this. This is just a working theory, but it makes, I said, there's more to say that it's a possibility than not a possibility. That's all I can say.
True.
Well, man, I've enjoyed it. Thank you for letting me be here. And as always, sweet nightmares.
Gotta love that laugh. All right, brother. Take care. All right, folks. I don't know what the hell that thing is that he found on an old photograph, screen capture. I shared last night, and that's interesting. That's all I can tell you. But I've got open lines tonight. 931-994-6917 is the number to call if you want to share your story or just say, hey, I'm listening to you from XYZ point on this planet. But there you go. Let's see what we got over here. Chaos, you didn't know that was Vault on the phone? Until you heard the laugh, I bet. Okay. Whatever. If anybody on this planet other than Lakay, you should have known who that was on that phone. But there you go. Eddie, what's going on? But Red Raider says he knows the stuff. Well, he's definitely had a whole lot of paranormal stuff going on around him throughout his life for sure. Let's see, how long have we been doing this so far? It don't even feel like I've been on here 5 minutes and we're almost 3/4 of an hour in. Wow. That is crazy. All right, folks. So let's see. Let me get over here. I saw some stuff on. Let's go to
Shawn, this is Wig. You got no sound, partner. Nope, not a bit. A minute or so. Okay, now I'm hearing me.
There we go. Now it should be right there. Should be able to hear me. Should be right there. Apologize for that. I don't know what the heck was going on there. Oh, yeah, I could probably say I didn't add my freaking audio to the dadgum thing again. But it should be out there. Wig, I appreciate you calling in and letting me know what's going on.
I still can't hear you. I can hear me every once in a while, but I can't hear you.
I should be able to hear me now. I can see my audio on there. Looks like it anyway. Well, let me go over to the chat. Chat's over there, that's for sure. Unfortunately. Should be back up. That one scene's probably corrupted or something that I jumped into. I should have checked that out earlier.
Okay. Now I'm hearing you.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. I don't know.
Catch you later.
All right. Appreciate it, Wig.
Sure.
All right. Alrighty, let me get this. Well, this is one of the things doing a live feed, and you do all of your producing for a live feed. Let me get this. Okay, I don't know why in the heck where this audio is coming from. Let's see, right there. Silent mode off. Silent mode on. Try again. No. Okay. Well, hopefully that ringer will quit ringing. I hope that's not going to be there. But can everybody hear me now? You can hear. Oh, there you go, Vault. I appreciate you sticking with me. Thanks again to Wig for calling in and letting me know. Hey, your audio's off there, boy. Of course, I didn't know. I thought I went through and checked all the stuff before I went on live, which I thought I did, but apparently not that one scene there. Claire says she's been up 24 hours. What the heck are you doing up that long? That's just, that ain't right. What the heck? Well, I didn't want to make a call on my Mac anyway. There you go. Holy cow. Okay, open lines, 931-994-6917. Hopefully I got the audio taken care of. Crazy as it is. And here in about 15 minutes, give or take, we'll go over to the Dogman Kim's look in the backyard of Lakea and Devato Nightmares and see what's going on back there. And if you want one of these fancy schmancy Chasing the Truther t-shirts, please go over to my Teespring store, which, hold on a second, let me get that thing up here and running. Teespring store, my store right here. Oh, if you want one of those Christmas cryptid Dark Waters things, let's go right here. Here we go. One of the cryptid Christmas Dark Water mugs. There's the store thing. You can buy it yourself. Like I said, there are 16 cups that were won by the listeners. But if you want one yourself, you have to go grab it out of the store. If you want one of my t-shirts or drink containers or cups or thermoses or whatever you want to call them, hold on just a second. Let me go back over here and see what I got here going on. Ooh, there we go. Let's run down here. Pop this in here. So if you want one of these t-shirts right here, the link is in the chat over on Chasing the Truth Shawn G. Got a bunch of different designs. male, female t-shirts, some tank tops I think was over there, drink containers, mugs, you name it, it's over there. Got some Christmas designs as well, including that cup I just talked about. But holy cow, so far so good. We got a good show going on. Duval Nightmares called in and we talked a little bit. Nude chatting. What is nude chatting? I do not have the format. Let's see. The list of winners. Let me go and look and see if I can find the actual thing here. Let me go over to the YouTube and find the... Oh, crap. Find the Dark Water. Dark Waters actually did a little... Well, there I am. That's just odd. I can't stand looking at myself. But there you go. Let's see. Dark Waters, and I'll put up the link in the chat for the YouTube link. Oh, there it is right there. There we go. Let me grab this and turn that off right there. I don't need to hear any of that crap. And share and copy. Skip ad. There we go. Copy. And there we go. We got that one. And we're going to go over here and pop this. This is the link to the giveaway. Actually, if you're part of my Discord chat, let's see. Who was it? Razor Wolf from my Discord chat won. I don't know exactly what he won. I think he got the 1 month free subscription to Dogman Cams. But if you want to, I just dropped the link into the from the Dark Waters channel, the Cryptid Christmas giveaway deadline. Let's see. You've got to, email him by the 18th. You got a little deadline for a deadline. You got to email Dark Waters by the 18th to get your proceeds from winning, if your winning proceeds to them. If you want a cup or you want a free month or whatever, you need to run over there and check out that video. It's actually called the Christmas giveaway deadline on the Dark Waters channel there, I think. Maybe. But there's also another video that has all the winners there too. So there you go. Anyway, this is Chase the Truth on the Dark Waters Radio channel, Paranormal Radio app. I'm Shawn Graham, host. And we are trying to do an open lines conversation. So give me a call, 931-994-6917. See what's going on out there. Let me go over here and see. I see the chat. Stimulate, what's going on? I ain't seen you in a while. Thaddeus Cray. Wes, how you feeling, brother? And Andy Jones won. Oh, you did? Andy Jones won? Appreciate that. Andy Jones says he won a free month of the Dogman Cam subscription. Congratulations to all the winners there. I wish I had that. Hey, Lakea, if you got a list... Wait a minute, hold on just a second. Did you email me that list? Let me see if I got it. Let me go over here to the Lakea thing here. See if I can find that in an email. No, you didn't email. You just emailed me the rules and regs to the thing. Okay. I could read off the names live on air, but that's interesting. One snafu. Hopefully no more snafus tonight. Actually, last night did a quite long show with Vol Nightmares and had a good panel going on. And some conversation was happening, and I was kind of quiet. And Lakea mentioned something, and I tried to answer. And at that point, my internet went down. And I looked on my app, and it said, hey, we're going to be have your internet down until 6 a.m. in the morning. I was like, well, shit. Crazy as it is. So, have you seen any spook specters, any paranormal around your house, around your, wherever you live, work? I've talked to some people that have a haunted work spot. Have you seen a UFO, cryptid, bigfoot, dogman, little people, or 4 or 5 foot walking frog? That was one. I think Chase told me about that one. Chase the trucker called in for that. But yeah. Let's go back over here. Hopefully I've got, let me see if I've got, maybe I got the audio back. Let's see. Let me go back one more time. Oh, I just got it. Just got it. Thank you, Lakea. Here, write this down. If you hear your name, you've got till the 18th to contact Darkwaters at imdarkwaters.com or whatever. I think that's the appropriate email that he's used. But here are the winners. The cup winners are as follows. James Radke, Radik, I think is the name. Radtke, I think. Jody Bateman, Stacy Mitchell, Mules Rules. That's a cool name. The Catalyst, Quenisha Harley, Red Raider is cup winner, Jay Jones, Rad Love, Ma'am Preddy, Judy Wheeler, Donna Nelson, Chev, Casual Conversations with G&A won one of those big old cups there, and Miami Jules and Carol Edwards. No, Lord, look at that. 40 names I've got a name off here. Dark Woods won 1 free month of Dogman Cam subscription. The Wiggler, Andy Warhol's wig, won 1. Julie S828, Bonita Wilcox, Silent Rain, Joe Fingullion. I'm going to butcher these names, folks. Apologize before I start naming off the rest of these, but I'm going to butcher your name. Lilith Aram, Charles Budden, Wendy Wilson. Hey, Wendy won 1. Prophet Yang, Ghetto Yeti, Jennifer Metzger, Jean Paul. Hey, Jean Paul, you won 1, buddy. There you go. And Curious Cat 1920, Lynn Parsons. Oh, wait a minute. We got a caller calling in here. Give me just a second. Get you on here, Wes. And you are officially on the air. What's going on, Wes?
Not much, man. Just kind of chilling in the live chat. I was going to let you guys know the Dark radio station is back up and running, or it should be. So if y'all want to go and tune back into that, there shouldn't be much problem.
On the Paranormal Radio app?
Mm-hmm, very much so. Yeah, unfortunately, it's just basically the program had to be extended out. It's all good.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, I guess we're live. It didn't give me any issues signing in to broadcast this thing. So
it has nothing to do with that. Unfortunately, the timing of the shows and stuff that are preloaded in there dropped. So it just had...
Oh, so it needed to, put some more stuff. Okay, gotcha.
And it was nothing to do with the radio station was fine. It's just everything timed out after the year was up. It's just, okay, nothing but dead air, so I had to fix it.
Hey, snafus happen. I went for 15 minutes or 10 minutes without any audio from my end. The caller got audio, but not from me. I was doing some OBS changing, and I forgot to add my own audio to the frickin' scene that I had pulled up on OBS. Crazy.
It's all good. I'm not going to be on here long. There's going to be a video I put up pretty soon, but I also want to let you guys know I put my first no sleep story out. Basically, it's not my own work. It's someone else who's very talented. It's just something I figured to kind of try to get my own creative stuff going because I'm having a little bit of a mental hang up with my latest chapter of Werewolf Hunter. It's not that I'm not willing to do it. It's just I have to kind of get myself able to do it. There's so much has been going on with real life. You already know what I'm talking about. It's just...
Oh, yeah. There's always... Everybody's real life intrudes on their fun time. So that's unfortunate. But I'm eager to hear what that no sleep story's all about.
I'll put it up in the chat in a minute. It's basically part one of a story called The Wheel. It's actually pretty good. A couple other bigger people have put it out, and they've done a pretty damn good job too.
Cool.
So, just go ahead and I didn't even know they were going to put it out. It was just something I asked the author personally. I'm like, hey, I'm going to put this up if it's cool with you. They're like, hell yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Their name is they're in the sub of No Sleep. Their name I think is Darkly Gathers, I believe. Check them out because they're very good. I haven't even read the second part yet, but I'm going to very soon, sometime during this next week.
Red Raider says she had a bunch of black helicopters fly over her town today. That's interesting.
When I saw them all the time.
Where you're at now?
Not now. When I was in Houston. No, the only thing I see out here is maybe a police chopper or a news chopper. That's about it. Nothing abnormal here.
Well, that's good. So all the paranormal stuff that you moved away from didn't follow you?
So far, honestly, no. I still get the dreams, but that's basically my own mind. I still get prophetic dreams and stuff. That I never, believe me, like I said, that kind of stuff I never asked for, I still get. And I pay attention to them, and they seem to have kept me out of some trouble. So, I guess it's the Lord speaking to me or something, so I pay attention to it. I've kind of learned to discern between good and bad. But yeah, I haven't had too much bad things happen here. Just normal life stuff. Nothing of that nature, thank God.
All right. Wow. Yeah, that's it. Buddy, I've been praying for you. Hopefully everything will work out. How's your dad doing?
He's doing pretty good. We're just kind of taking it day by day with him. That's really all that we can do. He actually had to have a couple of sleep studies done. Maybe one's problems getting sleep. So hopefully they'll be able to get him with a new machine that'll help him sleep. And once that falls in line, everything should work out pretty good.
Well, yeah, sleep will make you crazy, that's for sure, if you don't get enough of it.
I've gone without sleep for damn near a week. Was hallucinating and feeling bugs all over me. Yeah, believe me, that ain't cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I did a ton of sleep studies. We were connected to the sleep lab I used to be over. We were connected to a mental health hospital, and I did a ton of sleep studies in there.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Here's something for you. I don't know if you know what this is, and it stuck with me. I heard it on one person in my entire life. Trichotillomania. You know what that is?
Okay.
It's the incessant need to pick out every follicle of hair that you got on your body.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of screwed.
We were talking about, you popped up earlier today. I think I was on Lakea's live chat, chilling chat, positive vibes or whatever it was. And her bubbles are gone, but I brought you up. Somebody said something about you, and I said, the only problem Wes has got is every show that he does, his head gets shinier.
Pretty much. Yeah, I try to avoid the drama where I can, but you already know I'm here for you.
All right. Cool enough, brother. God bless, and Merry Christmas.
You too, bud. If there's anything you got need, let me know.
I will. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. Wes Vick, the producer for the Dark Waters family of shows, my producer, Dogman Cams, all the other family of shows, Dark Waters himself, the Vol Nightmares, he does it all. He goes out there and tries to find content for us people to talk to. And wow, all I can tell you is he does a great job. He's a go-getter for sure. It's freezing there. Oh, let's see. Last night I had a description. Why is it my computer says it's 54 degrees outside and my handy-dandy watch says it's 48? What is with that? But if I got anybody over in the Midwest where there's a lot of tornado activity, warnings and watches and stuff, if you're listening to me now live, give me a call, 931-994-6917, and tell us, give us a weather report over there. I think Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan, Iowa, they all had some crazy weather hit. But, yeah, let's see, let's change this up a little bit right here. Oh, there we go. Still don't like me. Honestly, I can't get used to seeing me on the screen. But there you go. I hope you guys like the new look of Chasing the Truth. Hopefully I'll keep it kind of branded from whichever platform I'm on, either my own or over on the Dark Waters and the Fringe.fm when I'm on Saturday nights. Me, Zwicky, you're over in Iowa? Is all those sirens going off there, Zwicky? Oh, man. Actually, earlier today, Balt and I had occasion to be on the phone talking to each other. And we were talking about, I said, hey, there's a bunch of weather going on over there. I've got to follow a couple of these extreme weather chasers. And all of a sudden it pops up and says, I'm following this potential weather event over in Iowa, then over in Michigan, and you name it. And I'm like, holy cow, again. Kentucky, Illinois, all you fine folks went through a buttload of hell over the last few days, and it's coming again. Hopefully it won't be as bad, God willing. But here's something. Now, this is totally just me talking out of my ass. What do you think about HAARP? Could HAARP, some technology, cause this kind of extreme weather that we're seeing? I'm not a big purveyor of the climate change stuff. Climate change happens every day. But I'm not this, I don't buy into it. So I haven't had the appropriate skills to, or not skills, the appropriate evidence to be shown to me that makes me think that man totally is the cause of all this stuff. TC wants snow. Why do you want snow? Heck, it's Christmas. It'll be snowing here in a little bit. Almost Christmas anyway. Admira Thoria says that when I lived in Iowa, there would be snow, not tornadoes this time of year. Well, there you go. I don't know. Is it that weird weather radar? Last year, over 100 top secret missions of payloads were flown up into the atmosphere in orbit. What were they all about? Climate change is normal. It's when people build their houses right on the coast does it seem a problem. Hey, people love it. That's all I can tell you. They love the coast, and if you build your house on the beach, you're eventually going to find yourself looking down a storm. Hold on just a second. We'll get this caller on. Unscreened caller, will be on the air in just a second, and you're alive, unscreened caller. What's your name? Where are you from?
This is Michael Owens. How you doing, Shawn?
It's been a day since I talked to you. What's up with you, brother?
Yeah. Well, you asked a question, and you're like, you didn't get what's happening with the global warming and all this stuff. I don't want to get political. I'm going to get slightly scientific with it, so you can understand. So the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Our Earth that we live on is spinning at 17,000 something miles an hour. Okay? This is a known fact.
Right.
The inside of our Earth is a spinning molten core of metal. Okay? We are pretty sure of this. I don't think anyone's been down there, but, this makes our Earth an engine, Shawn. And so you have the components of an engine. You have your cooling system, your water, you have your air, you have, other coolants like oil that work for the, just like they do in our vehicle engines. And we are sitting there extracting oil from so many places it's not funny. and injecting basically saltwater brine with nasty toxins in it.
Oh, wait a minute. Injecting into the crust or the mantle or whatever does water doesn't.
They inject it in there to push the oil up.
Yeah, true. I get that, but what does that have to do with the atmosphere?
Think about a car. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You do that with a car, and what's going to happen to that engine? It's going to start steaming. You're going to crack the block. The environment around that engine is going to change. It's going to get a lot harder.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay.
It's just the same principles. That's all, Shawn.
Well, I don't think it's the same principles, but injecting salt water or whatever brine into the where the oil is to push up the oil to get to where we could actually harvest oil. Pushing that out to think
we're removing the coolant from our engine, and the more coolant that we remove, the more our planet heats up. And as our planet heats up, it slows the circulation in the oceans, which slows the circulation of the air. It slows the whole evaporation process. And, we could very well go into a more marine type situation where the evaporation might get so bad where we start getting more rain, that's what you would hope. But with how we're doing it with the toxins, it's probably going to be acid rain. Probably within 50 years.
Well, they've been saying acid rain since I was a child, and you were a child. Acid rain's going to pop up, and that that didn't come to fruition. I hadn't seen any acid rain.
Well, we've been getting a lot bigger storms here lately. For the last decade.
I think it's a natural cycle of the Earth. If you look at all the planets
right.
Yeah, well,
I hope you're right, Shawn.
I'm looking at just average temperatures on planets, just not Earth itself, are going up.
Yeah.
So it's a cycle. Everybody kind of negates or just neglects the fact that we got a big old yellow nuclear furnace.
Exactly.
We all go around, and this thing goes through cycles, and everything around it that's it's married to has to go along with what's happening on the sun. So cycles pop up and go, and hell. I honestly, man, other than like Fukushima with that nuclear disaster and that power plant over in Russia that exploded, that particular environment that didn't that made it uninhabitable for you and I to be there.
It is, and until the Earth's able to recuperate, it is. Yeah. Well, the good news, Shawn, is that the bad things are starting to get through my protections again, so I'm starting to be able to deal with them again.
Oh, jeez.
It went that whole time. Since I was on like a week and a half ago, and that then nothing came through. Nothing at all. I was like, what the heck? Did I make my protections too strong or something?
Don't know. Well, Michael, let me answer this other phone call, and we'll call in.
Take it easy.
Another time. Okay. Appreciate you, brother. Okay. Unscreened caller, you're live on the air. What's your name and where are you from?
Hey, Shawn G. This is Drew from Vallejo, California.
Drew from Vallejo, California. What's on your mind, sir?
Hey, man, I've called before. The last time I called, I was talking about the orbs and stuff that be flying around and by the bases out here. And, I wanted to touch on your harp situation that you were speaking of earlier.
Okay, sure. Harp has been one of my rabbit holes. Not a deep rabbit hole for me, but it's one of my rabbit holes I like to jump into every once in a while.
Right. And, there's a lot of things that, like all the seeking truth has always been something that's been a part of my life. Ever since I first started reading my Bible, it was like I wanted to know for myself. This guy's talking to me from the pulpit, but I want to see and test, taste and see, the goodness of God. But anyway, back to the point of Harp. So in 1952, right, the British Royal Army admitted to weather manipulation. It caused flash flooding. And it killed like a bunch of people, I believe, out there. You can look this up. The British Royal Army in 1952. All right. Now, there's also something called cloud seeding. I believe in Saudi Arabia, out there in the Middle East, they cloud seed to help their farms and stuff. They do this a lot. It's because it's, it's desert out there. All right. Now, they also have these machines that can build clouds. I mean, it's basically, if you look up, if you just look Bill Nye the Science Guy, or you go just look on it.
I'm not a fan of Bill Nye the Science Guy. They have all the tools there
to make it happen. I know, but I'm just saying. But if you go look up this stuff, I mean, it's pretty easy to find. You know, it's not something that's hidden. And if you go look, the capabilities of weather manipulation is there. So if you have all these fires that are sprouting off in California for no doggone reason, you have the ability to cloud seed. Why isn't it being done? Is it called disaster capitalism? I don't know. I hope this is not something that.
Well, I can honestly tell you.
I'm not talking too much truth here.
Well, here's the truth about what's going. Since the current president entered, and as soon as he went in, the first day he cut the throats out of all the oil workers, all the whatever carbon footprint types of fuel that this great nation produces. He cut their throats. He's like, we don't want any more new oil rigs, cut down all this other stuff. And what happened was he raised the gas price, raised the oil price, and then he's begging the Saudis to produce more oil.
And it's funny how you said, like earlier, I caught that you say everything happens in cycles. I mean, the same thing happened with Jimmy Carter, I believe. He tried to do the same thing, and it caused gas prices to go crazy high and stuff. And people had he was trying to go green and solar power on his roof, and he tried to get in by acknowledging maybe the UFOs and this and that. But it's basically it's like I would like to say oh my gosh it's this political thing. But come on, Shawn G. If you're gonna take over the world, right? What's the best thing to do to the people? Make them believe they have a choice.
Or give them the choice.
I mean, it's like Pinky in the Brain, that old Animaniacs cartoon. Pinky is always trying to figure out, what are we going to do tonight, Brain? We're going to figure out a way to conquer the world, Pinky. It's stuff that's been going on all in the movies, all in the stuff, trying to conquer the world. But if you do it, you can't go directly at it. There's too many guns. There's too many people. Too many people. So the best way to do it is use, some other subtle way, which is being used today and making a lot of money. And you know what I'm talking about, but I'm not going to go there because, I love it.
I know what you're talking about. You're talking about that Colt 45 stuff, but
stay Colt 45 jumping off, boom, 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 6-shooter.
Yeah, but that being said,
I love Louis L'Amour. I love Louis L'Amour. Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah, but that's we are being hit from every point in our lives, from health to groceries, and it's going to be harder. There's a lot of grocery places that their shelves are bare, still bare, and hell, I just looked at the price of bacon today. 3 pounds of bacon costs $20. I'm like, what the hell's going on with this?
What is going on?
Yeah, I'm like, no way.
Look, man, I live in the city. I became an urban farmer, so I got 3 chickens and a rooster now. I got my own garden. You know, I got greens that produce, you know, normally. And I mean, I just had to start doing it since I was home. And I was like, I just started like reading more. And I didn't look at it as a time to sit down and watch sports. I was like, I already know this is WWF. Why, you know, I need to learn and acquire more knowledge and master my talents, my God-given talents. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the newest generation is out. You know, where they think pork, beef, chicken comes from, it's under a piece of plastic. That's where they think it's coming from. They've never lived the times where you actually go out and gather eggs, or if you like fried chicken, you go out and find a chicken that was ready to harvest, and you wring its neck and then pluck its feathers and you know cut it up and deep fry.
Do it.
I've had that meal. That meal is fantastic. There is not a KFC out there can beat that. But people, you know, nowadays don't do it unless you actually, you know, raise your own chickens, and that's what they're raised for. Oh, heck, when I was a kid, the best tasting meal you ever had was when you had to harvest a pig. Wow. Oh, my God. Yeah. That meal was absolutely delicious. Yeah.
Man, the only time I experienced that was in Hawaii when they put it under the ground and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, oh my gosh,
I have seen that.
I see the head of it. Oh, it's good.
Oh man, a good pig roast. You cannot beat that. But you go in and you raise sows or pigs all for a year or so, and then you go in and you have a hog killing. Holy cow! The pork skins, absolutely amazing. The junk that they sell in yeah. Oh my God, you cannot beat that. The junk that they sell in that claim that it's pork skins ain't even close to
that. Hey man, you know what? Hey, Shawn G, man, I just want to ask, man. I have a YouTube channel called The Holmes Project, and basically it kind of lets you know who I am and what my family's doing, and we're just trying to master our talents, man. And it basically presents that, and it's not no digital super. It's like real life clips and stuff, and nothing pre other than the songs, yeah. So yeah, but yeah, check us out, man. It's called The Holmes Project. THOLMES. Yeah, The Holmes, like Sherlock Holmes.
All right, project. Cool. Project Holmes Project.
Yeah, subscribed, all that stuff. Yeah.
All right, sounds good. I'll check it out.
Yeah, we're trying to survive out here in the pandemic, man, and I work construction in the union. They want us to get jabbed up like Larry Holmes, but
you gotta be careful about that.
Gotta be very careful about that.
Yeah, here in this environment.
Oh, sorry. I thought I used the right word. My bad.
Well, I'm just saying, just be careful. Right. If you're going to talk about something, you're going to, whatever, use another phrase or whatever to, I don't want to automatically find myself, thinking I'm doing a live feed, and all of a sudden my account's closed.
I apologize.
That's all right. That's all right. As a YouTuber, you got to watch out for that, because there's
I know. I'm pretty good at speaking in code. That's what basically Rail's all about. Right. But if I use the wrong, that is a pretty popular word now. So, but yeah, my bad.
Well, you never know what the bots are programmed to recognize.
Trying to survive, so you guys, check it out. Check it out. I'm all about truth, man, and I love you guys, man. I love this whole thing, Dark Waters, late night radio shows.
Oh yeah,
that War of the Worlds was awesome.
Yeah, it's been a while. I watched that War of the Worlds, the black and white version, based off of the actual radio show where it came from. Right. But then again, it was H.G. Wells' novel, and they did a on radio reenactment of that. Orson Welles.
Now, was it Orson Welles was the one that did the radio one, right? And he's the guy that wrote 1984, correct?
He did it back in the 50s,
Is that
I think.
The same guy?
Orson Welles did the radio show where he actually created a scare thinking Martians. It was back in the 50s, I think, when he did that.
Didn't he write the book 1984? Is that the same guy? Am I wrong?
No. 1984 was, I can't remember. I had it in my head for just a second. Somebody will pop it up in chat.
Yeah, me too. Doggone it.
H.G. Wells was the one that wrote
that did
H.G. Wells.
Yeah, and Time Machine.
I actually read 1984 and 1983.
Right.
A book report on that daggone thing, and I was like, you gotta be kidding me. There's going to be people. Hell, it's worse now than that book portrayed.
Man.
I'm like, I was looking 1983 version of me, 13-year-old, reading this, post-apocalyptic crap, and like, it won't be like that. The hell it ain't.
Man, I used to think when I was a kid, I was like, I'm sure glad I wasn't raised like what the kids saying them and stuff, because I know I would get everything chopped off. I'm not good with authority and stuff like that. And one day I woke up again and I realized that I was still a slave. Oh my goodness, I got to fight back somehow. I got to fight back.
Yep. Well, Drew, I appreciate you calling in, brother. Anytime you got another story or a comment, just give me another call. Appreciate it.
Hey, please, peace out, man. I appreciate it.
All right, appreciate you. All right, Drew from over in California. Interesting for sure. And this is Chase the Truth Open Lines, and let's see. Oh, wait a minute. I promised to head over to the Dogman cams. On just a second, let me get the Dogman cam started up in the back here. Fluent, and then we'll run over here. Hopefully, the audio will be all working here. $1. Just a second. All right, now that should have it. There we go. I'm a little too big for that. Let me poke this over here. It's not, this particular window is not set up right, but let's see if we got, yeah, it's a running right. And let me get the audio up here running. We're currently looking at our free stream. I'm going to give about 15 minutes on this, give or take. Turn this audio back up. There you go. We're looking at the Dogman Cam's Vault 1 camera. And seeing what's going on back there. We've had a couple of, interesting things happen. I caught, let's see, do I have that? I caught One-Eyed Willie up here. You see where this, on just a second, let me get this. Do I have it available to, no I do not. I should have had it available. But if you look on my actual page, YouTube page, I have the actual video up, and DW actually has it, where there was a deer, a doe, walking through the backyard next to the tree on the right there. Oh, look at that. Well, thank you for turning on the back lights there. Vault or Lakea, whichever one. Whoever turned that light on, but we're looking at through the Vault 1 camera for the next few minutes and seeing what's happening. If you see anything in the stream on this Vault 1 camera, please, if it's live, say it in the chat, saying, hey, I see something going on. Or if you see it after the fact, after the show's over with, let us know in the comments there. Let me get the chat back up where I can see it. Let's see. One can. Oh, holy cow, why am I in front of a wig? The wig needs to be, let's see. Oh, well, right there's Y. Video capture. Now I'm too small. There we go. Let me pop this up here. Lord have mercy. I'm going to have to do a little bit more toying with all my stuff here. My toys. Do a dry run or whatever. But still have open lines. 931-994-6917 is the number to call if you'd like to call in and say, hey, what's going on? you got a story about anything that's supernatural, cryptid, paranormal, UFO, USO, UAP, whatever you want to call those unidentified or whatever objects, like to swim, fly, or phase in, phase out. If you got a comment about HARP, I'd love to hear about it. How many dogman cams are there? There's only one currently. There are 2 about ready to be installed on various properties of the Ball of Nightmares, and they're waiting on a hotspot to be snail mailed, which last time we talked about it, it was supposed to be in mid of last week, and now it's a week later. Of course, heck, it takes forever for snail mail to happen. And with these current storms as are happening, the one up in Illinois and Kentucky where it took out a whole town almost, it's going to slow down that snail mail, unfortunately. But as soon as he gets that hot spot, he's got the cameras. He just needs that hot spot, and he'll install a couple more cameras to the project. And I think DW is currently either already negotiated or in current negotiations to put various other cams throughout various states. I heard Kentucky at one time. I don't know if they actually got that camera up to Connor. Not Connor Flynn. I'm talking about Connor with the dogman stuff on his property up in Northern Virginia. That's my wig. What are you talking about? Holy cow, I missed the conversation. Looks like it was interesting. Crackling fire makes you sleepy. It does. Well, I love the heat off of a coal fire. Used to live in a place where that's the nastiest source of the heat is a coal fire. And you have to constantly keep cleaning after a coal fire. But you can't beat the heat off of that thing. Cannot beat the heat. Let's see, what we got going on here in the backyard of the Ball of Nightmares. I got an email. I forgot who it was from. They saw something over here in the daylight. I can't get any closer than this. It's not between the pillars. If you look toward the left side of this now whited out left tree, there is a fork. 2 trees right here. Looks like a fork. There was something standing there. And I forwarded that email to the Ball of Nightmares earlier today to see what he thought about it. I don't think he's got it yet. I try to check my email, once or twice a day, something like that. I don't hover over social media like I used to. I used to consume social media like a nut job. It made me nuts. I think I'm a little bit mentally healthier now. I don't do that kind of crap. But I can see how the trigger of social media gets into your bloodstream and you can't have enough of it. Wonder if Willie will come out tonight. I honestly don't know. You never know. We've got a few more minutes left on the Willie Watch. But if you see anything, if you want me to zoom in on any part of this live stream here. What's up, Alpha Sheepdog? What's going on with yous? Eminent GG. What's the GG stand for? Eminent. Eminent, gotta gain weight and go to the gym. Okay. What's the GG stand for? If you remember that old Sanford and Son, FG Sanford, the G stands for Fred G. Sanford. That's probably a little bit old. Well, I don't know. There's a few people out there that's about my age would remember the old Sanford and Son comedy that was on a while back in the 70s. Remember Good Times with Fred G. Sanford? Oh, hey there, Sheepdog, Alpha Sheepdog. What's going on? French press. I ain't had. Well, I had, honestly, for years and years, people have said, Shawn, you need to get a French press since you like coffee so well. I have yet to get a French press. Unfortunately, I just haven't had it. I've heard people rave about it. Gamer tag kind of thing. Imminent good game. Like you're going to get wrecked. Okay, I got you. Good game. Imminent GG. Lord, you're talking to a fellow that grew up on Atari. Space aliens and what was that? Duck Hunt and the Nintendo stuff. You remember Duck Hunt with that laser pointer gun? What's the best cryptid story I've heard? Let's see. Greg Connor, of course, DW is chronicled this quite a number of times. His early days, a lot of his stories came directly from Greg Connor. One of his stories where, well, actually, no. This is probably new to a lot of people that haven't heard this. But Greg fell out of the loop probably about a year ago whenever this fun house party that we've all been going through for 2 years. This in-house party. You know what I'm talking about. He was going out to do some work and grabbed a ride. And at that time, he had an old dog. I believe it was called, what was that dog? Jackson. His dog was Jackson. And he was, his best friend, Greg's best friend. And every morning, he would get out and do his running around. And there was times that Greg said that he would go out and he would be missing for a good big part of the day and come back just as happy and healthy and smile, just acting like he was a happy pup. But he'd be covered in mud and briars and any kind of tags that you can catch out in the woods. And he thought, well, is he out there playing around with these Bigfoot and dogmen and stuff? But this morning, interestingly enough, he was about ready to go out. And usually when he goes out for the day to go work, he lets old Jackson out, and he wouldn't go out. He opened up the door and he wouldn't come out of his place. Well, he said, all right, buddy, I'll be back a little later. And he jumps into his share ride, and they get out to this local gas station. And a buddy of his stops by and says, hey, Greg, there's something going on your land. There's some cop cars and sheriffs, and I think there's something out there that involves hit and run animal or something, because there's a animal control officer out there. Well, he had his buddy take him back out. He comes back out, and sure enough, there's an animal control officer out there, along with about 7 or 8. It's been about a year since I've heard this. 7 or 8 sheriffs with guns drawn, rifles, sidearms. Even the animal control officer had his gun drawn. And they were out in the middle of a field that was on his land, Greg's land. He walks out to him and says, hey, I'm the owner of the land. What's going on? Well, we had a report of a hit and run, animal kill, a dog, and there lay Jackson, and all around him was covered in blood, and he had blood all over him, splattered all over him. And his best buddy, his best friend, laying there dead. He said, what's going on? Of course, Greg, loving this dog so much, he's going through the grief of realizing, hey, my buddy that I just left a few moments ago is dead. How'd he get out of that, that trailer? Well, anyway, Greg was looking over the situation. He said, why you got your guns drawn for a hit and run animal? And why is there so many cops that needs to be in a hit and run for an animal attack? Or not animal attack. Car hit a dog. Well, he never really got a good straight answer. And he saw out in the wood line there were sheriff's deputies with guns drawn and flashlights out, because it's still early in the morning, looking for something. He said, why is everybody, we're just make sure everything's safe out here. From what? And never really got a good answer. And another sheriff comes back from the direction of where his trailer was. Says, is that your trailer over there? Yeah, that's my trailer. Said, well, everything's clear. Your back door's open. Why is my back door open? Did you go in? No, but your back door's open and everything's clear. Did you go in? Nope. Why is my back door open? I don't know. It was open when we come on the scene. Well, why are you there? And he never really got a good answer. And he said, well, fellas, if you're not going to tell me what's going on and everything's good, I'd like you to get off my property. Well, of course, Greg goes back and grabs his truck, comes down, picks up his now late dog Jackson, takes him back. He inspects Jackson, inspects his body to see what's going on. Of course, if it's a car accident, dog accident, or hit and run, whatever, you would think that he would be nothing but a massive mushy bone situation, which I had that happen to a dog of mine. He was called Brownie. Prettiest dog ever. Brown from his tip of his nose to the tip of his tail. Same color. But he loved to chase semis. And he caught one year. And I had to do the same thing that Greg did in this story. He was pick up his dog and take him and bury him. I did all that myself. But as soon as I picked up that now about 100-pound dog, and I don't know how big Jackson was, but he said there was not one scratch on him. There was blood all over him, but he could not find one broken bone, one cut mark on him to explain what all that blood was from. Now, if you know about Greg and the stories, he's had some dogmen pop up on his area and some military guys in black, all dressed out in black with a dim light or starlight scopes on. And you have to go back and find those old stories from Dark Waters. But yeah, that was a long time ago. I was probably about 17 when that happened with Brownie. But Brownie was a good old dog. He just liked to chase old semis. But back to this current story with Greg's dog Jackson. He had to bury that old dog. Love of his life. Boy, he vows and declares. He's got another dog now. But he said he couldn't find one thing. And when he told me this, he had been gone off the scene. I hadn't seen him or heard from him about 3 or 4 months, 5 months. It's been a minute since I've heard him. Heard from him, been on a stream, or even called me, or I need to call him. Actually, I may call him next day or two, just wish him Merry Christmas. But he never could find anything. And he already had a run-in with the local sheriff department and the Virginia State Police about another military group that come on his property. Every show is asked, Shawn G, just put a question, then post your question. Yep. It actually highlights up in yellow when you post it in question on my screen. So if you want to ask me a question, post it question first, and then it will pop up. Boy, the winds are popping over there. But then again, here's the end of the story. Nothing that would explain all that blood around his late dog Jackson. Nothing he could find on that poor old dog. The first thing when I heard this the first time, I've heard this story about 3 or 4 times from him, I thought, well, could he have been crushed by a Bigfoot or a dogman or whatever? And why did it take at least 8 armed either sheriffs or and a animal control officer to investigate one dog hit? Paranormal whispering. What's going on? Is that Josh? Josh Runyon? Is that your new name that you picked there, buddy? Josh Runyon, Paranormal Whispering, I think. I may have misspoke, but he'll pop up in the chat here in a second. See if that's his real. That's actually Josh. But Josh has got some crazy stuff that he's been investigating for years. But that was probably the strangest dogman story that I have come across that is unexplained. Was there a dogman spotted or a Bigfoot spotted? Nope, but there was a lot of history there that would explain the dogman or Bigfoot ended the life of Jackson. Now, You can fill in the blanks. How I told it kind of heavily suggested. Oh, there you go. So that's your new name there, Josh. Paranormal Whispering. Dead. Interesting, buddy. So that's a new name. Yeah. You want to call in 931-994-6917. Let's hear about your new name change, see what's going on. I hear you're about ready to do some investigating with a new team partner. It looks like the Vault Nightmares. Somebody's out in the backyard with a flashlight or moved past a... Is anybody in the backyard there, Lakea or Vault? Looked like something went in front of the floodlight out there. So we'll stay on this for, let's see. I'll give it another 10 minutes. So, green tea. It's been a while since I've had green tea. It'll be coming down this week. That's cool, brother. Well, Josh, if you'd like to, just give me a call, 931-994-6917. It's been a hot minute since I've had you on for a little bit. Have you guys tried to put any cameras up on the Marsh Island? I don't know if they've tried to. There was one, the cameras that I'm aware of that the Dogman cams have had out. One with Blue down in Florida. Everybody knows that Blue guy down in Florida. I forgot to... No, I can't remember the name of the town. Blue with the Dogman thing. He had the camera out there. Oh, we're all in here eating. Well, there was something that blocked out that light, buddy. Something was blocking out that light just for an instant. Like something walked in front of your backyard floodlights. I don't know what it was, or if it was a momentary power failure or a glitch in the system, whatever. Don't know. But, or one of you cats. Hold on a second, we got a caller. Give me just a second, we'll get this caller on. Unscreened caller, you're live on the air. What's your name and where you from?
Hey, buddy, this is Josh.
Hey, been a hot minute. Merry Christmas to you, buddy.
Has.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, absolutely, buddy. Yep.
What's going on with you today?
Well, you were asking me about the name change and everything, so I was just trying to distance Paranormal Security, and I got a new partner. We're going to go hit up Voodoo Woods. We're going to do some different angles, and then we're going to do a lot of traveling. So I got a lot more coming up. So I'm pretty happy. So I was looking for something that would stick out a little bit, you know? So I thought that would be a good name change.
Yeah. A buddy of mine, Chase the trucker, called me one morning after you went over to Voodoo Woods. It was about that event where you had got real sick right at the end of the live stream. And yeah. He said, "Did you see that last night?" I said, "I saw a bit of it, but I didn't really see the ending of it." And he said, "Right before he got sick, you could hear all this whispering." Did you hear anything right before you?
Every once in a while I did. It just occasionally I'd hear it in my voice, or I'd hear it in my ear for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
But it was picking up really good on the audio. But I think it was the last video I uploaded out there. I kept hearing what sounded like a little girl. It was like a kid, like a toddler. Nobody else was hearing it, but I was. And it got to the point where I kind of got into daddy mode. I got into that whole firefighter law enforcement mode, and I was looking for this kid.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody was just like, "It's not a kid, stop doing that. Don't chase it." And I was going in like areas of those woods that I don't typically go in. Like I was walking through there looking for this kid, and then I was like, "Yeah, I got to bug out of here."
Oh,
there was no kid. Yeah. I notified the Chatham County Police. There was actually 2 Chatham County police officers and the Georgia State Trooper sitting at the gas station that was closed. So I informed them. I told them to go up there and said they saw a kid. That's the best I could do. And then I kind of skedaddled out of there.
Wow. So when's the next time you're going down to the woods, Voodoo Woods down there?
Yeah, Eastwood. His name's Brad Eastwood. I know you've probably seen him. He's one of my moderators on my thing. He comes on there, takes a picture of Eastwood. He should be here probably Saturday evening, Sunday afternoon, and that's the first place he wants to hit up. So yeah, we're gonna we're gonna get an apartment together. We're gonna try to get some stuff going, and then I think if you've been paying attention, we're going down to Florida here in about 2 weeks to this feller's house. His name's Will. He's got a lot of stuff going on. It's gonna be the first real house investigation I've ever done. So I want to go down there and see what we can do, what we can capture with that. So I think it'll be pretty cool. I think me and Eastwood are going to be good partners. So
Voodoo Woods, and what's the next hot spot other than a haunted house are you going to go to?
I want to take him. I want to take him all around Savannah. He's never been to Savannah, so I want to try to go hit up as many places as I can. I want to get the Moon River Brewery. I've been in contact with the manager there. I want to get that. I want to get the Pirate House, which both of those are downtown Savannah. They're supposed to be incredibly haunted. The Pirate's House has got the tunnels at the bottom, where the pirates used to come in. They'd bring their loot and stuff up through that house. So that's why they call it the Pirate House, but it's a restaurant now.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to hit up the Moon River Brewery. That's 100% because there's been a lot of ghost investigators that have gone there, bigger ones that have gone there. And then I think I want to hit up the Pink House, and then I just want to hit up a couple of spots like Forsyth Park and a couple of the squares that I know are haunted, and then just give him a good idea and let him experience some of the stuff, and then maybe even the Mercer House. I'm looking into the Mercer House too. So those are some really big stuff that I've got, and then the haunted house down in Florida is going to be a big one too. So and the Georgia Queen, the gambling boat that they have on the river. It's supposed to be haunted too, so I'm in cahoots with them too.
Wow. So you feeling better since that event happened a couple of days ago where you got sick?
Yeah, 100%. Yep, I went back out there. I think it was the next day or whatever. And like I said, I was just chasing what sounded like a kid. Never saw a kid. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot better from that. There was some blood coming from my nose, blood coming from my mouth. I wasn't really too sure what that was going on, but yeah, time will tell, but I'm not sure. It was time to leave at that point. Yeah, it made me incredibly sick.
Wow. Well, good luck with it, and Merry Christmas. And buddy,
absolutely, brother.
I've talked to a lot of investigators, from the cryptid world, Bigfoot, dogman investigators, which I know a handful of them, and ghost hunters. And I'm like, why in the world do you want to put yourself in that position? But I know that, they just want to prove that these things are out there.
Correct. It's the evidence. And it all goes back and stems back to me working at that cemetery. And ever since that time, I don't know, it's just been in my gut. It's not for the fortune. It's not for the fame. It's not for the views. It's not for that garbage. It's I want this hard evidence. That's why I do everything live. I like to do it live. That just makes me more comfortable because you get so many people in there that are catching things that you're not catching. Like they may see something that I didn't see, and that's why I'm really good about Eastwood coming in, because that's going to give me another set of eyes. That's going to give me some more video coverage. So if I'm in one location, he's in another, and he's got a lot of really good ideas that we're really just going to be able to cover a lot of that area. And we're gonna break it, and we're gonna figure out what's going on out there. That's what we're gonna do.
All right. Well, it's awful good to hear from you, buddy. I know you took off a while, but glad to see you're back at it, bud.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have a Merry Christmas, okay, buddy?
Merry Christmas. God bless you, and we'll talk to you later. Don't be a stranger now.
Yes, sir.
All
No, sir. No, sir. Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
hung up after you were... No problem. Well, that'll just make you have to buy a whole new computer.
It gives me a heart attack sometimes. I don't know why it does that, but anyway, I'm back. Thank you for the, I don't know, whatever's going on there. And well,
you're welcome.
I appreciate
Glad
you.
Glad to help out.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Hopefully this will not end the stream, but there you go. Thank you, sir. Talk to you later.
No problem.
Hopefully I'm still on air. Let me see if that's still, yeah, I can still see the meters running there. And yet again, all right. I don't know what happened there, but you did not hear Josh. Well, you probably didn't hear it. Hold on just a second. Let me go find that Josh Runyon. What I was meaning to do, which I'm assuming that this whole thing did not play Josh Runyon, the audio. Holy cow. I went through all that and nothing happened. Gee whiz. Well, that's the fun of doing this self-production of a show. But anyway, Josh Runyon, it was just on right prior to before the wig called in. Here we go. Josh Runyon was a security guard out at a Catholic cemetery down in Savannah, or close by Savannah, Georgia. And there was something going on in a mausoleum. He walks into the mausoleum. Let's see, hold on just a second. I want to make sure I don't have, yeah, okay. Hopefully this will play. And you'll be able to hear it. Now, this was Josh Runyon. He used to be known as Paranormal Security 9886, but he's changed it to something else, I think. But here he is.
Hello? Hey, look, if you're just out here fucking with me, you're fixing to end up in jail, you understand? So where are you? I'm getting the fuck out of here. Fucking done with this shit, man.
All right, that was Josh Runyon with a live stream that he did. And I've got an unscreened caller calling in just now, and I got him on the air. Okay, unscreened caller, you're alive. What's your name and where are you from?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's your name and where are you from?
I'm not Josh Runyon. This is Keith King here.
Oh, hey, buddy, what's going on? How's your dad, Jimmy?
Not too bad. What's the man's name? Josh Runyon? Or Josh Runyon?
Runyon, R-U-N-Y-O-N.
Runyon. I thought you were saying Josh Runyon.
Yeah, well, that's my old southern accent.
I was mad trying to ring in last night to Vault Show, and that Dublin boy was on, like, that Jackie boy, like, and tell by his accent he was born, like, in a privileged area of Dublin, like, you know, and know what them boys are like. Know what their type is like they judge a country by their government, you know what I mean, and they've never left the, you know what I mean, the city out into the countryside, so they're skeptics, you know, highly educated and intelligent people, but just dumb as shit when it comes to fucking dealing with people, like, you know, who did he grew up with money. You could tell by his accent he grew up not wanting for nothing. You know?
Well, I honestly, I think that dude was just trolling, more or less. You know, I don't know what his agenda was, but I think that was just a troll, more or less.
It could have been, but he made a big mistake, like coming in the wrong place to troll. You know, fucking fool. I was trying to ring you like mad just to get in, like, and just let them know, like, I know where you're from, man. Like you're Dublin 4, probably from Donnybrook, aren't you? And he would have just like that. You know, he would have bang. He would have been gone. I could have said a couple of sweet words to him, and he'd be gone. But like, no, he made a mistake. Like, do you know what I mean? You don't judge people by the actions of governments. Do you know what I mean? And you don't judge soldiers because of what shit happens where things like war is nasty, war is horrible, and it's insane. And like, do you know what I mean? Anybody who picks up a weapon to fight for their country, you know what I mean, deserves respect, no matter who they are. They deserve respect. You know what I mean? Because that's a brave thing to do. Like, a lot of people are following in their father's footsteps. A lot of people, do you know what I mean? They might have been sort of tricked when they were younger that you know that this is a good option, and then it is a good career, and it's a place where you can grow. It saved a lot of people's lives from jail and drugs and that, and gave them a family and put them on the straight and narrow and gave them an education and that. You know what I mean? But for him to say that, do you know what I mean, things about your country, like, and not even knowing the people, you know, judging a country by his own prejudice against your government is that's just like, you know.
Well, like I said, stupid. I believe that guy was a troll straight up.
Yeah,
I believe that, you know, he was just there to, you know. I think that,
and then he was trying to jump on somebody about the Lord of the Left-Hand Path. Do you know what I mean? He thinks just because Aleister Crowley called himself the Lord of the Left-Hand Path, and he was a Satanist, do you know what I mean? That the left-hand path's got to do with magic. Do you know what I mean? But right. Do you know what I mean? Magic can be used both ways. Do you know what I mean? But just because Aleister Crowley happened to mention it, and that's the only reason why he knows about it, is because it was in a book got to do with that sick cunt Aleister Crowley. If you ask me, he's a sick man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, not sick man, but he like.
Yeah, the left-hand path is not satanic. Magic is neither good nor evil. It's neutral. But it can be made, and intention is the key to everything.
Exactly, yeah, intention. And that's why I reckon a lot of the stuff is showing up on the camera, because a lot of us is looking at that camera and putting our intentions into it. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of weird stuff is showing up on Vault's camera, like, you know.
Did you catch that picture I placed of screen grab from my security camera upstairs at the first of the show?
No.
Oh, just a second. Let me see.
No, I just had a cup of tea in the bedroom. I spilled a cup of tea all over it. So it was fucking hell. It was one of them cup of teas, you know, that you get, and you just wish it never end. Just perfect. The one I have now is just, But so what? You have a video there? Do you want to stick up for me so I can have a look at it?
Well, it's not a video. It's actually a screen grab. But here it is.
It's a screen grab.
Yeah, it's screen grab. Let me resize it real quick. It should be up here in just a minute. This is about the stream is about 30 to 40 seconds behind me actually being live.
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me. Oh crap! I did the pointer. I didn't do this one. Let me do this and screen grab it and pull it back into where it will fit the screen. Okay, this was upstairs.
Done scientifically. Then he was letting on to be open-minded, but yet tens of thousands of people every day to ring in to all of the people here. Oh my God! Wait, I'm looking at. Is that face looking down the corner at me?
There's all kinds of stuff going on in this picture, but that upstairs is definitely haunted.
They're over to the left as well, just above the handrail.
Well, right here, if you see this, I seen some other stuff back here behind the handrail, back here in the back. There's something standing there, which like I said, it's 30 seconds behind actual audio that you're hearing now. Caller, or Keith. I'm sorry, Keith. And there's something standing right here, which you'll see it move back and forth. But last night when I was on the Vol Nightmares show, live with him. I showed this same picture. He said, "Hey, what's that hand doing there?" And I was like, "What are you talking about? What about a hand?" And he said, "That handrail, there's a hand on it." And right here is what he showed me last night, right there.
There's been an awful lot of activity on that stairs of yours, because you caught a good few stuff on the stairs, haven't you?
I have seen a bunch of stuff. There was a ghost run out of the house one time. Here. But there was
it's going up the stairs and down the stairs, and
well, there's all kinds of crazy stuff that happens with stairs. But here in this house, I have seen an actual ghost standing at the top of the stairs, where you see where that hand post is.
I think you got a picture of it. I've seen that picture.
Well, I don't have a picture of the ghost that I actually have of that, but wow, there you go.
Yeah, I can see that. I can actually see that someone's putting their hand out onto the railing.
Well,
it's hardly not just the where the other railing is attaching, though, no, and just the shadow of me pointing to the screen. See the main block where the railings are attached into here, right in the front of the screen, and it has the sort of T on the top of it, and there's a shadow coming out from it. Now, is there a banister, like a top railing going up towards the next one of them? And would that be it? Like, you know what I mean? And it's being cast a shadow from the flash of whatever camera you have there.
Well, this is the camera. This is from a live stream that I had upstairs. It was security, something triggered my security camera to say, hey, there was something going on upstairs.
Yeah.
And there's
the IR light still cast a shadow though as well.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
But it is kind of strange. It does look like something's putting its hand out onto the thing.
Yeah, there's something there. I don't know what this is right over here. I didn't catch this until last night when Walt said, hey, what is that happening over on the handrail to the right?
That's the handrail, though. It should be lit up as well. Like, you know, it should be as bright as here in the middle, you know, just over an inch on the screen from halfway between the hand and the very tip of your pointer. See the handrail where it's bright?
Right. Yeah. Should be, that whole handrail, inside that handrail should be lit up. It should be lit up for...
But it's not. It's all in darkness.
Yeah, it should be, absolutely. Strange. Where that actual camera is, I've got it pointed to where it can see the entire, second floor. But also you can actually look, I kind of cropped it out for this particular picture so you can't see the actual staircase because you can see down to the front door.
Yeah.
And, but there's all kinds of crazy stuff goes up in there. I've heard footsteps up there. I've heard something that sounds like it was running so fast one morning. And it sounded like it was going to jump through a window. It was running that fast.
The house we used to live in before we lived here, in town, like in the estate that I grew up in, a friend of mine lived in it afterwards. And, when we were teenagers and we were doing Ouija boards, but then he carved one into the top of his, like dresser in his room. Carved it out of wood, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And, he wasn't afraid of it. He used to laugh, but I don't know what he was like when he was on his own. Maybe he was just laughing in front of us and said he wasn't afraid. But since he done that, you could hear people running up and down the stairs and like kids laughing, children laughing, you would hear. And that never happened when we were living there. There was we were the first people to move into that house, It was only built in the 80s, so we were the first it was built at the end of the 70s. We were the first ones to move into that house, but since he done that, and then another guy, when they moved out there, a guy that I was in school with moved into it, and I asked him when I met him one day. He'd moved out and built his own house and was living in that with his kids and that. And this is like years later, probably 20 years after this incident where he carved the oak in. And I asked him, did he ever, find something funny. And he says, you'd be sitting in the sitting room, next minute you'd look over at the door, like the door had panels of glass in it, you know, all through it. Like some of them would be frosted and some of them were glass, you know, see-through. And you'd see like, you know, like a child looking around. Next minute you'd hear running up and down the stairs, like the exact same as what we were hearing after he had that Ouija board there. And I was trying to tell him, you need to close that board. And he says, "What? How do you mean close it?" So I close it down every night because it was on a board. It was sort of hidden. It was on the back. It was a thing you could lift up, like so like there was a press underneath, and then there was drawers you could pull out underneath. It was sort of like an old writing desk type style yoke, and it was on the outside. You know what I mean? And you could pull it forward, and then it could sit down, and then it would make it like a longer table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So unless you actually knew it was there and it could do that, that the dresser could do that, you would never see the Ouija board. But I asked him, did you know that he would have known the same fella as well, Dylan, who lived there. I said, do you know that he carved the Ouija board into the thing? And ever since that, weird crap was happening in the house. Because I grew up in the house that you were living in. I grew up there, and there was never any strangers, any or nothing. But since he done that, like the house just went crazy. Like just, really weird things started happening.
Okay, we're talking about Ouija boards, but here in the United States, they actually sell Ouija board as a game. Milton Bradley.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that. I've seen that like a few times, like on films and things like that, and I just could not believe it. Like, how could you hand that to your child? Like, Jesus Christ. And then I seen Watch McCall back in the 80s, some talk show host, a woman handing them out, like, you know, to young kids, you know what I mean? And then handing out, like, magic 8 balls and things like that. But then handing out Ouija boards. Go play with that now tonight now and have great fun with it. You know, that's just madness, like, but that's Hollywood for you then, you know. It's just, to me, it's completely satanic.
Well, my buddy Steve Stockton, he actually grew up, and his mother encouraged him to look into that. He actually had a Ouija board for a while. I think he still has one or two, maybe, but he hasn't had as bad as experiences. The stories I have heard from many other people. But to each their own. And I love Steve Stockton. Steve Stockton, he's one of those fellows that if I talk to him, it's like he reminds me of a story, and then I remind him of a story, and we can talk for hours.
That's it. You see, I had a friend of mine, he's dead now. And when we first started doing the Ouija board, like, I was one of the ones like who said we do the Ouija board. And we done it down the back in metalwork class in school, like, and the teacher didn't care as long as we were just being quiet, you know what I mean?
Right.
And came down, what are you doing? He says, we're doing a Ouija board. What's that? We're talking to the boss. He says, load of crap, as long as you stay quiet. But anyway, I felt like my temples was being pushed in with pressure, and so did the another lad that was there. It just didn't feel right. But then after a while, the more people noticed there was that on it, the faster the planchette thing moved. We were just using like glass. But there was a fella in my class, right? And he was really big, but he was from out from in the country. And he was he let everyone bully him, never stood up for himself. I was the only one that was friends with him, like, and like wouldn't bully him. And he shocked everyone, like, you know, who was bullying him in the metalwork class where they were trying to lift the anvils, you know, like a metal, like a blacksmith's anvil, the weight of them. He was trying to lift that, and all the biggest lads in the class was trying to lift it, and they could just barely move it an inch. And he's just laughing at them. And he used to have a list as well, which didn't help him with his bullying. But he just literally went over and picked it up and just started lifting it, like, you know what I mean, right up to his chest like that while laughing at the boys. You know what I mean? Done it like 5 or 6 times, like it was nothing to him. You know, but the Ouija board will suck you in, and it'll give you something that's just undeniably a fact, where you know what you say, there's no way that this can be fake. Like, it told me that it came on and says that his second name was Truman, yeah, And when it came up and they were and first were asking what's the name of the spirit, and it says Dick Truman, and everyone around us started laughing because we were all from the same school. And I shut them down and says no, Richard, but they called me Dick. And then I didn't even know that that his father was his stepfather and his real father was dead. But it says, tell me it says to tell David that he forgives him. He knows he was telling him the truth, and to forgive him for that night. See, the last night, the night he died, his father and him had a huge big fight, and it came to blows. Do you know what I mean? His father bet where he thought that he lost or mislaid some of his tools, and he hit David really hard and had a big massive fight, and David ran out of the house crying, and he would have been a teenager at the time too. And he would have been only maybe 10 at the time or 11, and he ran up the fields wherever to where he had a fort and didn't come back till 4 o'clock in the morning. When he came back, his father was dead. His name was Richard, but he went by Dick. But while David was gone, didn't he turn around to the wife and go, "Oh my God." So now I just remembered I had put the tools at the back of the shed when the fella came in. I moved the stuff back. Jesus, and I'm not having a big row with the Gosson for nothing. The Gosson means the young boy, here in Ireland. And when I told David that, he bursted out crying his eyes out. And I said, why, what's it mean? What's it mean that he forgives and he knows you're telling the truth? And then when he told me that story back, that only wanted me to do the Ouija board even more. And then it just kept getting worse and worse, and bad things happening. And then, from there on, things just started getting bad. But then, I got a bad demon attack then one night, but thank God, God came and saved me. And Lord of mercy, it's like 1 minute you know what evil is and terror and fear, and then all of a sudden you know what love and the power of God has. And you know what I mean? It was beautiful. You know what I mean? It was horrible, but it was beautiful at the same time. That all you have to do is just ask, and how tricky demons are. You think it's your own. You think you're talking to yourself in your head, when you're trying to say these prayers, and you're terrified, and there's something in the room with you, and you're trying to say prayers, and you can't even remember the words, and then you're saying, you think you're saying to yourself, you're fucked. What's the point of you saying these prayers? These prayers aren't going to help you now, boy. You're fucked. And then you realize, no, that's not me even thinking that, and then you start to get a bit more grip onto it, and then you realize that that's the thing that's talking to you into your head and whispering that shit. Right.
Well, with demons, you never know. They've been around longer than humans have been on this earth.
Their IQ would be off the chart.
Yeah, their hobby is let's screw up humans. So they pay attention to your entire life. They know you in and out. All the people around you, your grandparents, your great grandparents, and I just don't.
That's why they can answer any questions that you pose them. You know what I mean?
Right. So
different ones have different things.
The thing of it is you never really know who you're talking to when you reach out. That's one of the key questions.
I don't know which of he says it on Vault's one last night. I think it could have been Vault. You're never talking to your dead loved one. Your dead loved one has passed on, and you know that from your near-death experience. They've passed on, and it's not that they don't care what's happening here. It's just that they know already that it's not that it's not irrelevant, but it means nothing to them that you have your life to experience through your soul in your body here on earth and that time, so but the demons, they can't move on to the next place. Do you know what I mean? So they can, and they're on another plane where time means nothing. So they can watch your entire life literally within a second. They can watch your entire line of your life to your ancestors going back thousands of years in a split second and know everything that was said and done about you. So that's how they can trick you. And then once they trick you, they tend not to, give you more information, but you keep on. And that's how they keep you. Every so often they'll throw you a bone to keep you interested. So you keep doing the Ouija board so they can,
keep that contact. They want to contact with you. They want to commune with you.
Parasite does.
Right. Well, I know several mediums and had them on my show and talked to them, and I have yet to have that key question answered to the point of satisfaction. How do you know that you're actually having discussion with a past relative or some ghost of somebody out on the street somewhere? I have yet to had that answered correct to my satisfaction, to make me believe or disbelieve that it's not a demon trying to have a conversation with you some way, somehow.
It's like this, when people, they say in the Bible, like that the Antichrist will come back and people will be fooled and all that. Look, when the real Jesus comes back, right, when he does come back, to sort out whatever shit's going to happen, you will know. If there's any doubt in your head at all, then it is not the real Jesus. You know what I mean? But you will know when the real one comes, and the answer to that is it's not your dead relative talking to you. Do you know what I mean? It's not your dead mother, your dead father, your dead sister, your dead auntie, your granny, your grandfather. You know what I mean? It's a demon. It's a demon tricking you, just so that it can feed off you. And it's good because that's what they want, to just so they can have a connection to this side here, which is this universe is literally just full of energy. It's floating by us in the air. Like since I started learning electronics there 2 years back, I started teaching myself. That's when I get bored, I just pick a subject and then just learn it, and then like within a year, I have it. I basically fucking pass exams and all. And I was going to go on to college then, and then Jimmy ended up having a stroke. But that was those ideas out the window, That was in 2018. And the college picked out and all, and set up, and I would have been able to go on the bus over and be back, home and do that every day, so I didn't have to go and leave, and find a flat to live in. So I would have been saving money that way as well, and it was just perfect. And then he ends up having a stroke, So, I couldn't leave him by himself, because he'd be dead by now if I did, but we're just too close to each other, do you know what I mean? And always have been. Me and Jimmy's always been closer than the other two brothers have with him,
Right.
But but since I learned electronics, Jesus, first interesting subject to learn. So it's Jesus. I wish somebody had showed me when I was younger, because I was really bad at maths. But since I started learning that, bang, maths is pure easy to do now. And I mean, when I say bad at maths, a 4-year-old child would be better at maths than I was, But if somebody, they all says, I wanted to learn it when I was younger, but it says, oh no, you have to be good at maths to do this and do that, things could have been a lot different for me if someone was to show me electronics when I was younger, when I was a teenager, starting to turn wild,
Right. Well, you never know.
That guy last night, see, I know the likes of them boys. Them boys have never, do you know what I mean? They've never left the city in their life. They've never felt what it's like to be hungry. Yeah, they literally, his father was probably a barrister or a judge. He lives in Dublin 4 or Dublin 6. That's that accent. accent. Anyone in Ireland is able to pick out that accent. Like that's like a posh Dublin accent. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're talking about that guy that was
the guy last night that thank God DW jumped in on him, like, and I'm glad he jumped in on him for what he said. Like,
I think that troll's name was Niall, I think, or Neil, or whatever his name was. I can't remember, but he was definitely out to change the stream a little bit, but he left. Not sure.
He did. He just left. He just left after it was proved to him. Like he thought he was going to go and say, "Oh, that's just a cobweb." And then when it was pointed out to him where Willie's eye actually was, and he seen, "Oh shit, there is something there." Then he just left. Then when the proof was there, why didn't he argue the proof when it was shown to him? Then he left. Because he couldn't argue that proof. That definitely was an animal that was watching that joke, you know what I mean? That door, and when you were getting the bar, like, and when Vault was getting the bar, whoever was getting the bar, like, and fast forwarding through it, and you could see it blinking and all, and it was watching it, and there was another eye sign for a split second, and it was about 3 foot off the ground, further back, past the chair, further back into the woods, which was also probably watching it, but that keeping itself down low,
Right.
But I heard a growl one night on the cam one night, and I left it was DW had it up on his channel, like, it's only a minute long.
Is that the one he did the little girl scream and say, "What the fuck was that?"
No, not that one. This one is just like it just shows the camera, and next minute you just hear a growl like a lion from Africa. And I left in the comments like the big cats you have over there, they can't make a growl like a tiger or a lion. Am I right or wrong?
Oh. Hold on just a second, Keith. I gotta. Hey, DW, Lisa Ray is a friend of mine, and I don't have any problem with her holding a wrench. Just to let you know. But go ahead, Keith. Complete your story.
Well, what did you say there?
DW was asking about a particular person that was in the chat holding a wrench, and I don't have a problem with her holding a wrench.
Oh. Somebody was holding the wrench.
One of the moderators.
Yeah, but my father was telling a story about a man. I must get him to tell it the next time he's on. He's in bed now, but it was it brought this whole big thing in about big tall, huge, like 8 and 9 foot tall boys, like 3 foot wide, like. But these are people. Do you know what I mean? Because they're wearing clothes with big buckles and that. The next minute they just fly up over ditches and they're gone. There was this fellow, like, where they were down, and it must have been in the 50s when the electricity first came in, and they were using a thrasher, the old style thrashers, and they would have the big belt on it, but it would run on diesel, but they had it in the yard, and it was running into the evening time because that place there, the electricity had made it to there, but it hadn't made it to my father's house at that stage. And when his mother was asked did she want electricity, she didn't want it because she would have been on the end of the line, and she thought that if everybody turns their electricity off, that her house will blow up. She didn't understand how electricity works, but I thought it was just funny when Jean was telling me, but anyway, they heard your man roaring and screaming, and they thought he might have fell into the trash, so they went running around, and they got him, and he was white in the face. This do something. They were working on a car at the same time, and they needed something. There was something to do with milk buyer. They were milking cows or something, and he had electricity. He had the first proper, electric milking machine, and but anyway, when he was coming back, he seen this big 10 foot tall man that was at least 4 foot wide, and he turned around and looked at me, and he had brass buckles, Next minute, he flew up into the air, over the ditch, and on away, and just terrified the man. And then he went into more stories with other people that seen the same thing. And my uncles, which would be the youngest, Jimmy's youngest brother, his daughter is living over on the family place now where Jimmy was born and reared. And they built like a little house there for her and her boyfriend. And he likes bringing the dogs up, like lamp and rabbits, and they'd go and chase them down, like and they'd be out at night before they get back into their burrows. But he was out with the lamp. The next minute, he shone the light on this fella walking, and he was even shouting, asking who his name was. And we were asking, like, what did he look like? And he says he was just wearing normal clothes. I says, but he was tall, and he says he walked by that branch. He went up and measured the branch. The branch was 8.5 foot tall. He says, "There's no way." He said, "Yeah, sure, 100%." He says, "See the yoke that's on the branch, and there was like a break out of the branch where my uncle was up with the digger, where he was digging out where the well it wasn't really a well. It was more of a soak pit that was down deep that would come up, and it would filter the water, clean. That would be clean so that you could drink. It wasn't an actual proper well, but he was sinking it down. But the top of the arm of the digger, like must have hit the branch and cut a piece out of it. So that's how he marked it, because he walked underneath that, like he just went underneath it, and that was up at 8.5 foot. He says he just put his head down to walk underneath it. So he says he doesn't know who he was. And he was naming out people, and you're saying, sure, that fella's smaller than me, that fella's smaller than me, and that fella's only your height. And like the man who seen him was only like, I'm 5'8", and like I'm looking down at him, he's probably only 5'6", But I have to get Jimmy to tell, because he thinks he's run out of stories. Do you know what I mean? So he doesn't know what to tell you.
No way. There's no way Jimmy's run out of stories.
You've loads more stories to tell. So tell them.
You can't get my age, and let alone Jimmy's age, without having a few stories that you could keep on telling and not run out in an entire night.
Like, since you just told your stories and your family stories, what about the stories that you've heard of other people, like, and ghost stories and things that you've heard from different places? Because you can start telling them ones, So just go around and ask a few people that like, and ask them what weird things did they happen around the area. Do you know what I mean? Because like, I know a lot of weird things have happened around this area. It can't be a coincidence that literally within a mile square, like there's 9 ring forts. Do you know what I mean? You don't get that many close together, without some significance,
Right.
And then there's constantly UFOs flying over, and then there was a black helicopter here one day flying over. No lights on it, no numbers, no nothing. Do you know what I mean? And the windows are even blacked out.
Wow. Red Raider said she had some black helicopters floating around her. Red Raider in the chat said that she had some black helicopters running around her neck of the woods today.
Yeah. I just like the skies of Ireland. Like people says, I've never seen a UFO. I says, have you ever gone out to look for them? No, it's too cold. He says, then no wonder you haven't seen one. All you have to go out for is 15 minutes when you can see the stars, and just stay go out every night for 50 something weird. You'll see one, but the whole skies here are full of them, and they've been seen up in whatchamacallit. A friend of mine seen one coming out of a lake. First of all, it came out of like a portal. Seen that myself, where a portal would open up. The internet is gone. Can you still hear me, Shawn?
Yeah, I can still hear you. For whatever reason, my internet has been done.
Probably still running.
Yeah, it's connected back.
But I've seen one where a portal would open up. It'd be just like a disc on its side. Next minute, a ball would come out of it, and then another disc would open up and it'd go into it. Next minute, a disc would open up further along in the sky, and they come out of it, the ball will come out of it and head on, and next minute into another one, and then a disc might open further back. Do you know what I mean? And then a disc might open closer to it than the other ones, but then it would end up further on the line it was going. You know, but he said he seen this like disc, this ball, like, and it was like opening bigger and bigger and bigger. Next minute, boom, a big ball shot out of it. And that was the same Loch Melvin. It was the same lake that me and him seen one flying by, like, and it was down below the mountains. It was only about maybe 800 foot up in the air. Do you know what I mean? It was a big orange ball. It was about the size of a house, and it wasn't making a sound. And there was a father and his son down there fly fishing for the Gillaroo trout. It's the only place you'll find it is in that lake and in another lake. They've been trapped there since the Ice Age, you know, and there's no pike in those lakes either. So the perch have changed shape. They look different to perch where you catch anywhere else, because it kind of took on the role as the top predator, like then the pike. But they fight really, really, really hard. They fight like a trout. But anyway, he's seen this duck coming out of a portal, and
are you there?
There had to have been something down in here.
Your internet, either my internet went out or your internet went out.
Sorry?
You went out for about maybe 10 seconds, 10 seconds, something like that. Don't know what happened. It may be my internet. My internet's been goofy the last 24 hours.
What was the last thing you heard me say?
I can't really tell. I was paying attention, chatting you too. So, complete the story that you were telling. Just complete the story you're telling.
Well, a friend of mine, anyway, he seen the portal open up when he was down at the same lake. Ever with me. It was a bit.
Apparently, folks, is my stream going out or what's going on? Because apparently there's some connection problems with my buddy here from Ireland, Keith. Give it just a few seconds. Keith, I don't know what's going on, but last night I was on the stream doing a live show with...
my laptop now, it's loading. It's loading.
That's weird.
You know, it keeps on, it's loading back now. Mm-hmm. But I'm on the phone, you know.
Yep.
But anyway, he saw a portal open as well, which I've seen many a time open on the sky, and like basically, you know, lights coming out of them, going into another one, and then another portal open further on in the sky, and a light coming out and going into another portal, and like skipping across the sky that way, you know, and then just other ones going normal. I seen one opening up and then going down into the lake, you know, and you could see the light disappeared and as it went down under the lake. But another friend of his was actually calling here tomorrow, English lad. He had you know, like the night vision. It was like binoculars, you know, and they weren't great. You know what I mean? Like but you could still see things that you couldn't see with your naked eye. And up around Leitrim and Boyle and in Ireland, it's just, the sky is just literally full of things. Like there was apparently there was meant to be a meteor crashed here in Ireland a few years back, and it took out 2 kilometers of the tops of a load of trees up near a place called Lockheed Forest Park. And when they showed you on the news, like the trees, all the tops of the trees are taken away, like, and it'd be the width of the length of an 18-wheeler, not the width of an 18-wheeler, but the length of an 18-wheeler. That length, you know what I mean, of the tops of all the trees for 2 kilometers. You know what I mean? Took off, and when they showed you the actual meteor, you know, it showed them holding the meteor, and it was only the size of a tennis ball. You're saying that took out all those trees. Now, come on, what sort of fools do you think we are? That I reckon there's a base up in there somewhere, like, you know, because there's be always jet blacked out Chinook helicopters. And when I was in college doing sound engineering, the woman I was staying with, her son He's a mechanic in the Irish Army, and the Irish Army only have 3 Chinook helicopters, and they're painted green with the Irish colours in them. They don't have no black Chinook helicopters. Chinook, so whatever we call it, the double bladed ones. Now they're seen flying over Lincoln all the time, and that's all hills and valleys and mountains, and there's places like where you'll drive, next minute your radio and your phone will go down where you've no reception at all, like black spots, and that's where you get the highest amount of UFO reports from, is in all up in that area,
So does Ireland have
where
an
Ireland
area?
is on the planet. It's right out on the edge of Europe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
does Ireland have a Area 51 sort of?
I'd say there is up in there somewhere. And there's a lot of dead zones anyway because of the topography of the land. There are lots of hills and valleys.
But, hey, Iron Dogger, what you doing there? I have yet to see. I think every continent on this planet has had some sort of UFO activity noted by humans.
Yeah. It's just everywhere. And like I'd be thinking, like, and I'd be listening to some of this old like fairy stories, and some of them do sound an awful lot like, that's aliens. That could be aliens. Like the one where my father, I don't know whether he told you, the one where him and his mother were watching a light dancing through the trees. These trees are easily 70, 80 foot tall, like, and it was like, dancing in between them and going down to the ground and then going back up to the ground. To me, it sounded like it was a drone. He said it was only about the size of a tennis ball and it would change colours. But to me, that sounded like it was mapping out an area, maybe underground, and a lot of weird stuff. There's a housing estate built in there now over that bit of woods. And a lot of weird things happens in some of the houses in there, like really, really strange things, So I reckon there could be underground water running there, because like if you have granite, which will have copper, and it'll also have iron, and limestone running together, and then water. The water will melt the limestone to where it'll make acid. Like you just pour water onto limestone, and you start to see it fizzle. Then there you go. You have a DC battery.
Mm-hmm.
So all the elements are there. Plus granite is full of quartz crystals. Like the electric spark in your lighter. That's caused by like banging. It bangs
Friction.
A piece of quartz crystal with 2 little pieces of metal on each side of it, and when you bang the crystal, real hard bang, you get like that electric spark, which I think is 2,000 volts per millimeter. So that'll just tell you like how much power there is in this piece of quartz crystal. So that can
quartz
explain
crystal.
A lot of portal openings. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, the quartz crystal has so many wild properties. You can actually stretch that thing. There's
electronic.
Yeah. There's a thing that
think quartz watches. The little, if you ever open up a quartz watch, you'll see that little cylinder. There's a little sliver in there, and I think it's 32,700 and something. But you divide it down in half each time, 15 times, and it comes down to exactly 1. So that's why they use that frequency, where it'll vibrate at that frequency, 36,000 or 32,768, I think, times a second. But then a little bit of circuitry will break it down to just one a second, so it's really accurate. But yeah, you were talking about it here on another show about would it be a factor, and I was trying to write in the comments that 1,000,000% it would be a factor. Yeah, quartz crystal in the rock would be a factor. Like the white stones that are quartz, you get them and you rub them real hard together. You'll see the electric sparks coming off them, especially if you cut grooves in them. Where they'll get a good rub off each other.
Right. Well, most haunted places, most things that have a lot of activity that's supernatural, in origin, has either quartz crystal, some sort of hard bedrock, or what is that, granite, or a water source underneath.
Yeah.
Underneath the property.
Yeah. Like, do you remember that first thing I sent you of the baby in the cot and the orb coming and waking up and messing around with the baby, like that house?
Mm-hmm.
That house is in a place called Bundorn, and that's well known for underground rivers. And there's a lot of houses in that place, and there's they have to move out of the house, like where the orbs got that bad, like where they weren't believing the girl who took the video of the way you can tune the baby cam into a channel on the TV, and they weren't believing her because her sister and her husband weren't into ghosts and new aliens and all that. But when they showed them this, they put a camera out on the whatchamacallit, because the eldest son was saying, that the lights are keeping them awake at night, and they keep on throwing toys at him and waking him up. But they just thought that he wanted to stay up later and didn't want to go to bed. But they put a camera on the hallway on the landing up on the upstairs, and they actually could see. They were downstairs looking on the television. They could actually see the yoke come down and then go through the wall. And then all they heard was a bang and the young fella screaming. And the child was already crying at this stage because they'd already woken up the child. We're turning into that little like starfish thing again and touched it, and woke it up. But when they went up and looked at the camera that they had on the tripod, they could see the orb coming down through the roof, going through the wall, and then it went into the box of the young fella's toys in his room. And then the toys started flying out of the box. So they left after that. Plus, they couldn't grow no plants inside the house. Any plant that was brought inside the house, literally within 2 days, it looked like it was dead 3 months. And then I knew another fella was growing weed, and he could not grow weed in the house. So his brother was growing the weed for him, and it was it'd be like a month or a week away from harvesting. And so he brought it in, and literally 3 days later, it looked like it was dead 3 months. He couldn't even harvest nothing off it. And I don't smoke weed myself; it makes you paranoid as fuck. But you know what I mean. But that's just being honest, like But
well, I'm not. Yeah, I don't begrudge anybody that wants to partake of pot, weed, whatever.
Neither do I. Like
that's not something for me. But
you wacky backy. Anyone smoking wacky backy is no good unless they work hard. If they work hard, then then he forgives them. No, I have to explain to him, Jimmy. Do you know that apart from myself and yourself, you're the only person that I know who does not take drugs and who does not smoke weed. Everybody smokes,
Yeah.
Crazy. But anyway, he's going to write a few things down on notes, so he is, and he's going to get chatting to a few more people, and get the whatchamacallits off of them, like stories off of them as well,
Right.
Because talking to you done him the world of good. Like it made him, you know what I mean. It made him like he's also asking me questions about it, like, and and like because first he thought he was just talking to you on your own. He didn't know that there was a load of people listening.
I'd love to have Jimmy back on just to talk to him about how he grew up. What has changed since he was a little boy.
Jimmy was All-Ireland champion bantamweight boxer, so he was.
Oh my! I guess he's had a tale or two. I'd love to talk to Jimmy about his how he grew up, how he got into boxing.
And he just was able to box. He was genius at it. If you'd have gone to America, you would know who he is. He would have become a Hall of Famer. I'm not just saying that because he's my own father. I'm saying that because people who the amount of people who said that to me, So, but he didn't care. Like when he was boxing, he just wanted rather to be going off driving and going off and getting his whatever with women, in the backs of cars, you know. He didn't care about boxing, but he should have stayed at it because like he had everybody bet around the country in his own way. Like he was fighting middleweights and making them cry. You know, and he was only like amateurs, you know, like when 15 to 17, like. But he was still making like boys like who were middleweights, like whatever that would be, like from bantamweight. I don't know the weights, but
So you're like, telling me that Jimmy wasn't somebody you ticked off?
No, and even out of the ring, he was even more dangerous to fight, like because he'd use other tactics too, like. But yeah, and see, my grandmother was a traveler, so my mother was a half traveler, but a lot of the travelers seem to regard, you know, my mother and her brothers and that travelers, like full travelers. But when they were growing up, they had it very hard because they weren't accepted by the non-traveling people, and they weren't accepted by the traveling people because they were half. But when I was growing up, you know what I mean, they were accepted by both sides. You know what I mean? But then it was where I grew up too, like that estate. It was a rough estate. Like you have to know how to handle yourself, or else, you know, you were just gonna be taken out of it. Like that Jacqueline the other night, they're on Vol Show coming in. You know, the minute you show him the proof, he was gonna try and say all I see is a cobweb, and then laugh at you all. But then when he seen, oh wait a minute, there it is, because it took me 3 times first when you put it up first, Sean. It took me to watch it 3 times before I seen where his eye was, right underneath
oh yeah, the deer
right under, and it says, oh, class.
Well, like I said, that I forgot what the hell his name is. Oh, gee whiz, Neum or Nile or whatever that troll was. Yeah. I think he was just there to cause trouble. That was all. That's all he was. You know, that was his agenda, and he left.
So he's been on other shows, was he?
Yeah, he's been on other shows. I've seen him elsewhere, and he's always on the other side of the fence on everybody. He was taking different sides. That was it. You know, I don't. You know, skeptics are skeptics, and I love a skeptic because sometimes
he's probably never seen a cow in his life. He's probably never left the city in his life. You know what I mean?
He claimed he was a biologist or something.
Where he grew up in Dublin, and it's in the privileged, richest part of Dublin. You know, people would like who's not from Ireland might even think that he has a Dublin accent, like if they're used to, you know, films like the Commitments or that, or listening to like people like that have a real strong Dublin accent. But he was just letting himself down big time, here and there and everywhere. And you don't treat people like, you don't judge a whole race of people by what their governments do. All governments are fucking, you know, fucking leeches, you know, and fucked up, you know, and you don't put people down over an army. Do you know what I mean? It takes guts to take up a gun and defend your country. And Eric Gypsy Road was right. He says, here, listen. You don't blame us army guys. We do what we're told. Like Niall obviously realizes in the army, he'd have the brains to realize that if you do not obey orders, you literally are brought to court, the same as if you were out here and broke a law. You know what I mean? I broke the rules, and you get prison time. You know.
Right.
And it's far more stricter. It'd be far more stricter in your army over there in the States than it would be in our little pissant of an army. Like when our army was at its fullest, and our army basically could 2/3 of our army was just let go or made retire or just, you know. But when it was at its fullest, a fella who's married to my father's first cousin says that there's more fellas on an American more men on an American aircraft carrier than the entire Irish Army. I said, no way, that can't be true. And he says, honest to God, Jeff, he says, they're huge. And I says, but how many boys is there in the Irish Army? He says, there's, I don't know, there's not 9,000, I know that much. And he says, so there could be 9,000 on an aircraft carrier. He says, on some of them there could be more. I don't know whether that's true or not, like, but I was believing him at the time. I'm sure there's lots of people there who would know whether there is or not. But yeah, fucking hell, like, yeah, you know, I didn't like. You had made my blood boil, like I was.
Yeah.
I was lying back, like, and trying to get sleep. I was just even dozing off. Next minute, I hear this Irish accent. I said, I'm a couple. I'll just say hello to this fella. Next minute, I heard him talking about Chuck, and he was slurring out every word that he was saying, like he was trying to slow everything right down. And he, you know, it was like it's deliberately doing it, you know.
Right. Hey, I've got actually a favor. Ask Jimmy next time that he feels like it. I'd love to talk to him about anything he wants to talk about, especially his childhood and how he grew up, and especially how he got into boxing, because that just fascinates me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll ask him about that. He'd love to talk about that, so he would.
Or I'm sure he probably grew up in a time where, you know, TVs were not prevalent. He probably grew up where he was listening to radio all the time.
He remembers the first television. So Jesus, like, his second youngest brother remembers going over. They go over to watch to watch. What was it? It was some program. I think it was the Fugitive or something, or it was a cowboy yoke, or I think it was the Fugitive. And your man, the husband, would come home, and he'd the way he just tell the stories out. It's funny. Uncle Mick, Jimmy's brother, telling the stories. He says he'd come in and he'd do it on purpose, and he says he'd take off the jacket and take off his hat. And he says he'd kneel down, he'd just drop down to his knees, and he'd hear 2 knees knocking like they were smacking into bits right down in front of the television to block it from everyone, and start saying a decade of the rosary. That's 10 Hail Marys, 10 Our Fathers, and 10 Glory Bees, or whatever you call it. Like, I was pushed into being a Catholic as a child, like, but I'm not a Catholic, so I don't consider myself Catholic. I consider myself Christian, but not Catholic. But yeah, he remembers them going over to watch this yoke and to see what would happen next, and well, then he would come home, your man, and ruin it for everyone. But yeah, I'll tell Jimmy that. Like, he'd be glad to talk just even about that.
Niall's not my man from not in the least. He was all I saw in any show that I've seen him on. He was there to cause chaos, and that was about it. Sorry, Chaos. Didn't mean to use your name in vain, but but yeah. Ask Jimmy if he'd like to come back on the show. If he's got more stories, I would love just to talk to him how he's seen the world change over his lifetime.
Actually, he's always telling me, like, even just this road, how much this road has changed, and then how much I've seen it change, and then how much he's seen. Like, that's how you know you're getting old, when you can turn around and say, I remember when all this was just fields.
What year was he born in?
Yeah, on the country. I remember when all this was just fields, and then you know, you have young people laughing at you, and you say, "Well, you'll be able to say that one day." And when that's the day you'll realize, holy shit, I'm old. But anyway, I'll let you go, Shawn. I'll tell Jimmy that. Yeah,
I'd love just to chat with him, because
grew up.
And see how he sees the world through his eyes.
You'll jog his memory. You'll jog his memory because his memory since he had the stroke isn't the best. Like, the last time he was starting to wandering off into fields and who owned it, which fields and that, until I had to tell him, where's this going to? You're talking about fields. And he looked at me and says, you're talking about your man who killed himself in New York. So I had to get him back on track. But it'll jog his memory, because his memory hasn't been the same since he had the stroke. But it made him feel so good, like, to hear, like, and when I saved both of the yolks in, and I've showed him what it did save of the chat of all the people, like, you know what I mean, praising and saying thanks, and you know what I mean, sending love, and like that made him feel so happy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't see any cross word about Jimmy at all. Everybody loved him when he was on.
I've seen, like, you know what I mean? Like, I know, see in here, like, and over in Vault's channel and DW's channel, like, so I consider them like family.
Yeah. Well, as soon as Vault gets this thing figured out with
here in the chat, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, as soon as he gets
these people, wonderful people, like, I feel so fucking great after. I feel like, I don't know, feel like a weight lift off my shoulder every time I talk to them, like when I talk to, say, Red or Stimulate DRC and Bass and Lisa,
they're all great people.
Aaron, and there's loads of them. Flat Rock does have some mad shit around his house. So he has Jesus. There is some of the stuff at his house.
Yeah. Well, Keith, I appreciate you calling in. And again, if you can get Jimmy on, I would love to just to have a casual conversation with that fellow about anything. It doesn't have to be about the supernatural or any crazy stuff that you could qualify as what was that, puka? It doesn't have to be about that. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't have to be about that. I'd love just to see how he's seen the world changed through his time here on Earth.
No, puka is just
a
ghost, but that puka would be the ghost. It would be the thing that he's seen, because puka is just the Irish word for ghost. But that puka is the thing that he's seen.
Oh, okay. Puka.
That's the difference between the two of them. But anyway, I'll let you go, Shawn.
All right. I appreciate you, Keith, as always. Merry Christmas, by the way.
I think I'll make another cup of tea. This one's called Cali.
Yeah, tell Jimmy Merry Christmas from us.
I will, of course.
Okay.
Will, of course.
Fantastic.
All right. Thanks.
All right. God bless. Bye. Wow. Now that right there, I could honestly, I could sit there and let him talk about just about anything. I love Keith and Jimmy's accent, and hopefully I can get Jimmy back on with Keith. Just to hear them ramble on about anything. Well, I don't know. It's just me. Do you think? I love that accent. No doubt about it. And to address all the crazy stuff that's been going on the last few days, I do not like drama whatsoever. I'd avoid it like the plague, but that is what it is. If you need to get rid of any of the wrenches, if you need to get rid of anybody that's causing any trouble in there, to feel free. I got rid of one that I kept an eyeball on. And that being said, I'd rather be harmonious in chat than have conflict in chat. Conflicts I would rather have, like with Lakea. Lakea did this warm, fuzzy feeling stream she had earlier. That's the way I like to see chat. But if you have, if you're skeptical about something, that's great too. Just mention it, that I don't believe in this. And Red Ritter, I don't know how many helicopters those black helicopters has been flying over your house or around your neighborhood in the last 2 days. I've seen you comment about that about 4 or 5 times. But he didn't say what he did. Well, Robert, my dad, back when I was a wee tyke, probably about 1, maybe 2, we lived over Newport News, and he used to be a welder, and he checked, at that time, his job was to check some sort of, he calibrated something on warships and on submarines. And all he would tell me about that place and about his job there was he had to wear so many freaking badges to get on board a submarine to the point where he needed to do his job. He said it was like putting on a shirt to put on the badges. And that's all he said about it. So I don't know what he did exactly other than calibrate something on a submarine. And that's about it. But, yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff going on with, whoever it was has been trolling old Vault and then come over here on my channel and trolling Vault. And, I think he got nuked, N-U-K-E-D, meaning he was banned from all the Dark Waters channels. For, I don't know why in the world you have to be a troll like that and go to every place to voice your opinion. If you can't get your opinion out on one channel, good luck. That's all I can say. But anyway, folks, that's enough of me about talking about drama. There's a whole lot of it going around, and I don't know why in the world people have to deal with or do this, but I guess we got to do content. YouTubers got to do content. Red Redder says, well, I saw 3, but there are others all over saying that they've seen same stuff over their cities the last 2 days. Chase, well, there you go. I kind of wonder how many of these helicopters are actually drone helicopters that aren't actually manned by something. Maybe an AI helicopter. We got several streets across the United States and around the world that have these AI self-driven cars that tend to wreck. That's just weird. Yeah, Keith, thank you for being on. Yeah, I'd rather not do. Drama is not something I care for. And I actually got rid of somebody that mentioned my name in drama, and I was like, that's enough. I don't need to see anymore. Boom. Yep, Bass, you're absolutely right. It's just, I don't know. I know that there's a lot of people out there wanting content that create content that don't have good enough stories on their own. They got to steal other people's stories and add their shit to it and say, well, this is brand new content. Okay, whatever. That's what you need. That's all right. But like I do here, I reach out to you guys, you ladies and gentlemen. I'm not a big fan of these 100 and some other self-identifying whatever that is. I'm not exactly sure what to call it, but I'm not going to try to remember how many genders they are because I only recognize 2. And that's about it. If you have a different opinion, great, but I only recognize 2 genders. And I'll probably get canceled out or jump through a window or get my channel axed. But, we all have our opinions, and that's my opinion. But there you go, brothers and sisters and all the people. And what the holy cow, it's 11 o'clock. 3 hours. How long have I been on this thing? 3 hours and 8 minutes. All right, folks. Well, how do we call in? 931-994-6917. If you got a phone and it can dial and it's got a connection to somewhere, you can dial 931-994-6917. The number is at the bottom of the screen on the right-hand side. That's next to Dark Waters, now the Paranormal Radio app sign. That's been there since the beginning of the show, and I've said it out a few times. Yep, Lakea's got it. She is the purveyor of keeping the stream calm. And I like what you do. You're a good wrench holder there. Sue, I appreciate you. Well, Junior, I don't know. The gods at YouTube do some strange things. They subscribe and unsubscribe and get your comments taken off and all that kind of crazy stuff. But here is the final call. Last call for the final caller of the night. If you want to be the final caller of the night, 931-994-6917. I've already talked for, I don't know. I've took calls for 3 hours. But 931-994-6917. But final call, and I'm going to stay on for about another 10, 15 minutes and wait for anybody who wants to call in. That's how you get a hold of me if that's what you want to talk about. Anything and everything. The sky is open except for anything that has to do with the 2-year sequester that everybody that's been in doing this enjoyable house party that we've been all a part of. You can't talk about that or anything that has to do with the Colt 45. Politics, I'm not a really. I have my own politics beliefs, but I don't join into the politic thing. This is not a politic channel. You can turn on the news and get your fill of politics. That's enough of that crap. But black helicopters all over the place. I had a friend of mine that lived up in Canada that saw black helicopters fly all over the place up the place. Her area up there. It was on the other. Wait a minute. Hold on just a second. What's this going on here? Oh. Nope. No, you cannot call. Sorry about that. That particular person cannot call. Not the one I just took off the thing. But I am not going to do that one. But there you go. Anyway, there you go. Another thing I got to address, I am not the complaints department. I have gotten a ton of complaints over the past 4 years about anything and everything, and I am not the complaints department. If you don't like what I've said over the air, I hate that you got that thin of a skin. But call me to complain about something or send me a message about a complaint. That's not how to endear yourself to me. But that's just me. I'm not one to want to argue about anything. But can I argue? Hell yeah, I can. But I hate doing it. But there you go. A 40-ouncer Southern, yeah. I haven't drunk a drop in over 6 years, and I'm proud to say that. And that actually, just thinking about it, made me sick at my stomach. But that's how I lost my left leg. And God gave me the ability to come back to do this little old show. And thank you for Dark Waters for inviting me. I'll have to go back down and look and see when we actually started this journey down this Dark Waters Chasing the Truth path together. Singing a merry old song for 4 years. It's been 4 years. Can you believe it? It's been about 4 years, give or take. I would say it's knocking on the door 4 years. He asked me on Vault's channel the other night. Here we got another caller coming in. Let's see who this is. Wait just a second, caller, and we'll get you on. Unscreened caller, you're live on the air. What's your name? Where are you from?
Oh, yeah, my name is Shamz. I'm from Kansas City.
Can you say that name one more time? You kind of cut out there.
Shamz.
Shamz, okay. What's on your mind today?
Oh, no, I was just trying to call because I had like you, I'm in a wheelchair myself, and I've been listening for a long time. I've just been debating whether or not to call in.
Well, I appreciate you calling in. So what's on your mind?
Like back when I first got injured, I believe it was an NDE.
Okay.
Yeah, it was like I didn't know for sure if it was a dream or I didn't really want to talk to nobody about it because it was, I'd seen like my aunt and everything that passed away and like sat and talked to her for a while, and I mean, it's like hard to try to get it all together. I'll see what really try to remember what actually happened. Because, I just get pictures every once in a while, like memories of what happened when I got injured. It was back in 2009.
Yeah. Here's what's happened to me with my near-death experience. Every once in a while,
it's kind of similar to yours, too.
Yeah. Every once in a while when I experience or hear or see or, all of a sudden I get this memory dump. I don't know if it's a download or whatever, and like, well, how the hell did I forget that part of that near-death experience?
I know, like it's like everything was saturated, the color like deeper green feel.
It was
weird looking.
It was like everything was, from visual standpoint, everything was on steroids. You could see and hear and feel everything around you to the nth degree. But
it was peaceful.
Yep, absolutely. So, what was your favorite? What was your favorite part about your near-death experience?
I remember going down a hallway, and it go to a door, or I don't know if it was a door or just a opening or something, and you just there. And next, you're somewhere like that field, and I remember seeing like my aunt. She was like one of my favorite aunts, and she passed like years before I had got injured and everything, and we just sat there and talked for a while, and next I think I remember her saying something like, "Well, you got to leave now," so and I was like, "Huh?" And then she said, "You got to go back home."
Oh wow!
I was like, so I really wasn't thinking like, you'd be scared. I don't want to die or this and all that. But it was calm and peaceful. You wasn't really thinking like, "Am I dead?" or anything like that. He was there, and then
how long
like
how long were you out of touch with the world?
I believe I was out for, I think it was a while, because they had sedated me. Because I came in, I had blood in my lungs, and basically they had to, because the bullet, I got hit with a bullet in my neck, so it made me quadriplegic. So. Oh
wow. Well, I'm not quadriplegic, but yeah.
Yeah, I've been like this position since 2009.
Holy smokes! Well, that's definitely a wake-up call with how I can only imagine, and I'm not going to say that I even know what you're going through, but I can only imagine the sheer change. I can tell you that my world changed a hell of a lot when I lost my left leg. And I still, it's like, I still have my other three appendages, as good as they are. But
I know guys that lost both of their arms, and they artists, and they drive their cars with their feet and everything else. I done seen some amazing things.
Oh yeah.
Cool. But yeah, I had a quick one. I didn't want to hold you up too long. I had a roommate when I was in a nursing home before I went home. He had I believe he was having an experience with family members before he died, because he was just talking away, and he just talked and talked the whole night, and he stopped talking, and I think that's when he was gone. After that, it was just the weirdest experience I ever heard in my life.
Right.
Crazy. He just talked and talked like he was talking to people that weren't in the room.
Okay, can I ask you about when you woke up from the near-death experience? How long did it take you to stop thinking about, is this real or was that real?
I know it took me a while to wake up from being sedated from. So it was. I don't know if it really was like it was a dream. I just kept having like you said, the downloads, like it kept coming to me, like all of a sudden, like I remember seeing her face, and I'm like, okay, why did I see my Aunt Shirley? She's been dead for years now, and I really didn't remember seeing anyone else, even though I had other family members that that passed before and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But when I got pulled back, it felt like somebody just yanked me back real quick, and it just felt heavy.
Well, how I came back was, it was like I was in a warm, nice, no pain place. Everything was kosher, everything was fantastic, and it felt like I was falling forever and a day. And as I was falling, the further I fell, the colder I got. And then all the pain come back, and I woke up with 2 nurses praying over top of me.
I just remember waking up and not being able to move. That was the worst feeling ever. I wanted to try to scratch my head and couldn't do it.
Oh my God, I can only, yeah. Well, after I woke up, I knew that I had part of my leg taken. I knew that for a fact, but it was a good week or plus. Honestly, I can't really tell you, but it was a while before I pushed back the covers, just flipped the covers over to see how much of my leg was there. And quite honestly, with the phantom sensations that I still have, I can still imagine, well, hell, I can still feel all of my left leg, even though below, above the knee and below is gone. I can still feel that, but I was like, well, how much did they take? I can still feel it. I was like, how much did they take? And I was like, oh, I don't want to, every time they'd come in, they would dose me up with, to do the bandage cleaning and crap on the thing. They would dose me up and I'd pass out or whatever. But it took me a while. And after I pulled it back, I've only cried once over my leg, and it was about 20 minutes. And after that, I was like, Shawn, God brought you back here. And I actually argued with God to come back, and after I realized that, tears dried up, and I realized everything was all right.
Yeah, I told a lot of people was talking about that. I was like, I cried enough for like the first couple months, and after that, I guess my eyes were just tired and had no more tears, and I was just like, I could get back to doing something. And I started my own business and started doing my art.
That's amazing. Since
I can my link to a website if they don't mind.
Sure, go right ahead. Go right ahead. What's the link?
Dark Hand Art, DarkHandArt.com.
Okay.
Dark. Was it Dark Hand Art? Yeah.
Yeah. www.darkhandart.com. Okay, I've got that, and I just posted that in the thing. I'll definitely look at that here then. And
I do it all by mouth.
Yeah, I was about ready to ask you that. Do you have the utensil that you can control everything around you?
Yeah, they call it a joystick mouse, a joust.
Oh, okay, all right. I've seen those a couple of times.
That's the same way I drive my chair.
That is amazing. It's amazing. Have they come to you, I've talked to a few people that, lost appendages or, up to the point of quadriplegic. Have they talked to you about doing any kind of implants or anything to, kind of reverse some of the loss of motor function?
They said stem cells, what was that other thing with some like nano stuff and stimulation. There was another one was like some kind of stimulation thing, but not really no implant, anything like that.
Well, I'm happy that you called in. That was amazing.
Yeah, I've just been debating like, should I do it?
Anytime that you want to call in, brother, you got my number. Or if you want to call me afterwards, you can. And just not in the middle of the night. 3 a.m. I probably won't answer. Hopefully, I won't
when I'm up working on something. Cause I'm night owl. I'm just up. My brain doesn't shut off. So.
Oh yeah, I get that point. My brain won't shut off, and I think about. Here's one thing that since I've had so much time on my hands, I have thought about the silliest crap, and get into such a dire, anxiety fit or depression or whatever about it. Right. And then, I forget about it, and a couple weeks later, it reminds me of what I was fretting over forever and a day. I was like, it wasn't worth an ounce of my time. No, it wasn't even worth it. And I just don't know. Yeah. I don't know why I did that. Yep. But yeah, I try. Once I recognize that I'm spending too much time on something, I'll go, why am I spending so much time on something that's not worth spending that much energy, emotional energy or mental energy on? Then that kind of breaks me out of it. But
so that's one thing about this business conditioning. Made me look at stuff, the reasonable way, and do I really need this? Do I really need to do this? And what's more important? Let you know what's more important, what you really worried about, like when you were up and about and all in the mix with all the silly people. Is this really what you want to do? And give you more time to think.
Yeah, true enough. You reevaluate everything.
So many people out of my life.
Yeah. Here, final question before I'll let you go. All the stuff that you cared about before all this happened with your quadriplegic stuff, everything that you considered, hey, I valued this and I valued that, and I didn't really care about this. Did it flip upside down on you after everything is said and done? Before
none of that stuff is important anymore.
Right. Well, same way here, buddy. Same way here. I
wasn't really worried about a lot of stuff before like that, but it's like it just made me focus more on the business aspect of my art and everything. So I was able to get stuff in order and sit there because, like I said, my brain never shut off. So,
well, I'm glad you called in. Well, I'm glad that you found the courage or the gumption to call in, and don't feel like you can't call in. Please do in the future. I'd love to hear more stories about what you do about your art, how you look through, how you look at the world from the eyes that you have now, and the modality that you can do. And I just find it fascinating, what you can overcome.
Yeah, the art helped me a lot. If it weren't for that, I think I really would have went crazy.
Oh, yeah, what's your favorite genre of art?
Because most of my stuff is like photo manipulation. Like I take photography because I had cameras and GoPros and stuff set up, and I have like a little studio thing inside my apartment, and I have models or family to take pictures and either turn them into like a art type looking picture or manipulate it to make it something totally different. But the first one I did was like a woman's face, and it looked like laces on her, like what was it, like shoelaces or football laces, like down the center of her face. Yep. My stuff was just like a lot, just like outlandish, crazy looking combination type. What they call them? What they call the collages.
Well, I would love to see that art. I'm sure it's displayed on your website. So I'll definitely, let me go back up here and copy them so I get that thing. Oh, right here's darkhandart.com, darkhandart.com. So I
didn't want to hold you up too long because I know I was calling. That's why I say, how do we call in before?
Oh, yeah.
Man, I think it was like 11 something.
Yeah, I'm trying not to do 4-hour shows and 5-hour shows because I feel like total shit after those shows. Even though I enjoy talking that long, it's just a mental concentration you got to, shell out for those types of shows or these types of shows. That long, constantly trying to, read chat, listen to the conversation that you're having on the caller's end. And, where's the living crap out of me? And I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. I love doing it or I wouldn't come back for more. But I'll try not to do the 4 and 5 hour shows anymore.
It's going to do 5 hours every day.
Yeah. Eminent GG says, prayers for this man and his work. And what's your name again? One more time so we can.
What was my who?
What was your name again?
My name is Shamz.
Shamz.
Okay. SHAMZ. Well, actually, W, that's what people say. They call me. It's a nickname. It's Woo Shams, but W Shams. Most people just say Shams.
Okay. All right, Shams. Well, I appreciate you calling in. God bless you and Merry Christmas.
Yep, thank you.
All right, brother. Take care and call in anytime you want to, brother.
And mayonnaise and mustard.
Between the mayonnaise and mustard. Hey, you've been listening for a while. You know what Chase's sign out is. Keep it between the mayonnaise and mustard.
And Bigfoot 89 is the two.
Yeah, Bigfoot Anon, he's one of those that if you let him get, I love the fellow to death. He's just got the energy of a rocket and looks like a 6 foot plus tall, thin boy. And I'm like, holy cow, how in the heck can he talk out long and not take a breath? But he's just fascinating.
It's just the main thing. My issue is just that pain be killing me. So knocks all your energy out. So I don't have the energy to half the time we want to talk. I'm just gonna lay back in this chair for a while. That's the main issue I have is just pain.
Yeah, well, that's the main thing I've got. I got chronic headaches. Heck, I ain't gonna go over it. But I got a lot of stuff that I've figured out that I've got to do other stuff to keep my brain off of the stuff that's bothering me, and I particularly did all right. It's just that it's still there, it's still ever present. But I don't know if I kind of believe I know what you're going through, but I know I'm not even close to it. But Shams, I appreciate you calling in, brother.
Well, all right, thanks for taking my call.
Oh, well, thank you for calling in. All right, brother. Take care, and God bless.
All right, you too.
Bye. All right. Well, heck, that was a heck of a last call. A near-death experience. Let's see. Near-death experiences. I have done so many hours on near-death experiences. Heather Wade, I did I think it was going to be a 2-hour show, and I went the entire 4 hours with her. Definitely. And I think she quit or kind of slipped doing, she's on hot and off cold on doing her shows. But I did 4 hours with her, and I've done, 6-7 hours on either my platform or over on the Dark Waters platform totally. And then all the, just specifically about near-death experiences. I don't know how many hours I've talked about. I have not even scratched the surface. But for Sham's website, darkhandart.com, go over there and look at that thing. I definitely will be doing that after the show. I'm fascinated in what he can manipulate and do with his art. It's interesting. And that's part of what Chasing Truth is all about. Is just not, I know where I'm associated with Dark Waters over there, that I talk a lot about cryptids and Bigfoot and Dogman and the whatnot, but Chasing the Truth is just not in that little cubbyhole. I chase the truth about everything that's interesting to me, and near-death is one of those things. Art, seeing the eyes through somebody's elderly, like with Jimmy and Keith's dad, Jimmy. I'd love to talk with that fellow and see how he's seen the world progress over the last little bit, last several years of his life. But anyway, folks, hold on a second. Let me get this thing up here. Let's give thanks to all the folks out here. Keith, again, thank you. Southern Boy, Michelle Smith. Let's see who else is in here. Robert. Stimulate. Hey, I hope you're doing better, buddy. I've been thinking about you, saying a prayer every once in a while about you. Appreciate you. Eminent GG, I hope that you found something there on this show to come back and listen. You never know what you're going to get with me. Wednesdays and Saturdays, I'm doing the show. At least 2 hours to 4 to 5, which, like I said, I'm not going to do 5 again. Hopefully not, but you never know. I'll make myself a liar probably sooner or later. But Bass Mayhem, appreciate everyone that's in the chat right now. It is just one of those things. And for the trolls that came and went, glad to see you back and glad to go. Hey, I understand. I understand the trolls get their kicks off of being trolls. I have been doing chat for 30 years plus. I was in IRC chat for a while. I created my own bots and all that stuff. I've seen trolls come and go. So I understand the mentality that you're not going away. But I'm glad I've got a bunch of people that carry along with me and take care of these old trolls. But it's just one of those things. Yeah, I understand that, Stimulate. I'm sitting here, how I got my studio set up. I can see a picture of my late brother. He's in the back of his old orange Dodge Ram truck. And he's got, looks like a 8-point buck that he just shot. A snow cover on the back of the truck and everything. I wake up and look at that fellow every morning and say, hey, Bubby, I miss you. After I say, thank you, God, for waking me up. Where are we going to today? Yeah, you remember IRC? IRC, I don't know, is that still real? Internet Relay Chat? I'd say it's still real. Yahoo had a platform that came and went. I was on Yahoo Chat for a long time. But holy cow. Guess what? In the next few years, we probably won't even recognize what's going on today in the internet realm. With all this crazy stuff with, I think, Facebook and a bunch of other companies are going to go to this virtual reality crap. Oh, Lord, holy cow. Who's going to do that? Are you going to go through that virtual reality and wear these chips and stuff? Not me. Shawn, for the end of the show prayer, yeah? Well, here comes the end of the show prayer. Junior, thank you for reminding me about that. I was leaning toward that. And hold on just a second. And we'll get this prayer going. Dear God in heaven, thank you for today. Thank you for the show. Thank you for everyone that has participated and called in. Dear God in heaven, bless those that are going to listen and participate after the fact. I plead the blood of Jesus Christ on everyone and pray that they are safe, sound, and secure, and prosperous. Dear God, I rebuke anything in the name of Jesus Christ that is satanic, that is evil, that's out for the ruin of souls of man. Extraterrestrial, interdimensional, extra-dimensional, anything that is negative. I plead the blood of Jesus Christ on and bind it in the name of Jesus Christ. In Jesus Christ's name, please bless those folks that are in need and send your angels of healing and support to them. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. Folks, I appreciate you. I really do. I really, really do. And I'm amazed that people actually like to call into this show and talk to me. Now that you can see me without my hat, I actually do have a head of hair. Would you believe it? I actually was going bald at one time. Yeah. I do cut my own hair, by the way. There you go. Who's a fact checker? Everybody's a fact checker, Joe. The fact checkers out there that MSM have aren't really fact checkers. They've got their own agenda and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. This is the truth. And it's not really truth. But anyway, that being said, I'm not a big MSM fan, as you probably know. But Lisa Ray, I appreciate you. And I'll see you over in Discord if you're going to be over there. But folks, good night. God bless. Merry Christmas. And keep it between the mayonnaise and the mustard. And let's get this thing over here. Get the outro music. Made in 1985. I like it just because it's has a little bit of a Christmas wang to it, but it's actually jamming. Good night, folks. Wiggler, thanks for calling in and telling me that my equipment has malfunctioned. Twice. I'm going to have to... Hold on a second. Let me give Wiggler a wrench. I think Wiggler needs a wrench. Let me give him a wrench. Wiggler, I know that you didn't ask for a wrench, but I'm going to give you a wrench. But there you go. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And here we go. If you want to, dogmancams.com, go over there for $5.99 a month. You can see One-Eyed Willie and all the host of other creatures that's in the back of Bald Nightmare's yard. And the additional cameras about ready to go online as soon as they get the logistics of the Wi-Fi hotspots. Go to IamDarkWaters.com for all your horror narration needs and beyond. Chasing the Truth, Shawn G. Subscribe over there. If you like, you don't have to. Hit that thumbs up and share this out. Subscribe if you loved the show, which I don't know if you did or not, but if you do, go for it. If you would like to donate or tip the host, me, Chasing the Truth, I've got a couple places that you can, well, let's see. Hold on just a second. Let me do this. Here's my PayPal. Because apparently PayPal, the link and stuff is not working right. If I paste both of them at the same time. PayPal is here. Oh, crap. Put this thing on here. PayPal. If you'd like to tip me there, I've got also a Cash App, which is, where is the Cash App? Gee whiz. Should have had all this together before I said anything, but we'll get that. Links are in the description. It's about time for me to get off. My tongue is not working right. Cash App is coming up here, folks. And then Teesprings, if you want one of these shirts right here, Teespring store is in the description as well. The link's over there, and here is the link for the Cash App. And the my T-shirt store, Teesprings, is right here. There you go. And all the links I just described are in the chat, from the Dogman Cams to I Am Dark Waters and all the things around there. Good night, folks. See you Saturday night over on the Dark Waters channel. I'm out of here as soon as I hit this thing right here.